We
run
just
for
worked.
Sega Genesis. Except maybe
We just
Buck
worked.
Rogers'
We
Countdown
got
to
a
Doomsday
turd.
for the Sega Genesis. That game owns. It's a port of a PC game, though I first played it on Genesis, and I just played it on Genesis again the other day on my analog Mega SG. It's not Cyberpunk, though it's a good weird RPG for Genesis. If you want to play one of those, check it out. It owns. By this metric of mechanical obscurity, Watch Dogs, Watch Dogs 2, and Watch Dogs Legion establish our baseline for the minimum viable Cyberpunk video games. Snatcher and the Blade Runner PC adventure game, of course, by default qualify as Cyberpunk video games, both because of their aesthetics and because they're adventure games, and nothing jacks one so thoroughly into the hacker mindset like repeatedly clicking on pixels until one of them suddenly solves a mystery. Of course, if we follow down this road long enough, we prove that obviously Secret of Monkey Island and especially Tokimeki Memorial are both exponentially cyberpunker video games than Far Cry Blood Dragon or Ion Maiden, aka Ion Fury. And any game in the Shin Megami Tensei series is catastrophically cyberpunker even than Cyberpunk 2077, so perhaps we'd better start establishing an aesthetical blueprint. I decided to take an inverted pyramid approach to defining cyberpunk. I started with video games, of which we've seen there are relatively few, before moving on to films, of which there are many. Then, I addressed the genre's origins in science fiction literature, where the vast majority of its expanse awaits. Cyberpunk in film immediately presents us multiple overlapping smorgasbords. The archetypical Blade Runner gives us endless rain, trench coats, inelegantly loud flying cars, crackling neon, massive holographic or otherwise impressively animated advertisements, typographically multilingual metropolises, elements of unexpectedly worrying grit such as the brightly fire-blasting smokestacks of several refineries, virtuosically delicate explorations of the nature of the human soul in a world gone cyber, glass, slow motion, creepy toys, massive technological achievements such as artificial human beings portrayed as utterly mundane, depressing notion of humanity having colonized asteroids and outer space, unethically wealthy billionaires with savior complexes living inside psychopathically, hatefully, geometrically oppressive symbolic structures, and more. Blade Runner serves as a sort of badge of authenticity in itself. Here was a film that juxtaposed detective noir motifs and visionary science fiction into a perfectly coherent and enthrallingly mysterious experience. It showed us that in the future we'd have video telephones, though also that they'd be generally beat the heck up and filthy. That contemporary critics cruelly misunderstood Blade Runner only makes it cyberpunker. That Blade Runner's makers went on to patch it over with a director's cut that actually wasn't a director's cut, and then a final cut that was a director's cut, only more firmly establishes Blade Runner as cyberpunk.
There you go. There's a second one. And then what else we got? What other places do we advertise to?
True cyberpunk mavens.
Tim. People are going to come in here and they're going to be like, you're watching this guy again? Yes! I fucking love this guy. I fucking love him. I love my birds too, even though they scream. You don't see me complain about you, do you?
His post during the resolution of the story, so he stops being a cop.
It's just while we advertise.
Most of the movie, he's still a cop. Cyberpunk hates cops, right? Anyway, other than that, true cyberpunk mavens agree that Blade Runner has got it all, except for computer stuff. The internet, virtual reality, cybernetic body modification. Nobody in Blade Runner jacks in to anything, much less whispers, "I'm in," even once. Nobody in Blade Runner touches their ear and then reports coldly that they now know how to fly a helicopter. Nobody in Blade Runner ever rides a motorcycle. Only one character in Blade Runner looks anything like Harley Quinn. Also, nobody in Blade Runner is ever funny. None of the many visible billboard advertisements have any jokes on them.
I'd buy
that for $1.
Here you might say, it's almost like there's more than one cyberpunk genre. And here's where I say, yes, there's exactly two cyberpunk genres, in fact. One is whatever cyberpunk thing you saw first. The other is every cyberpunk thing you saw after
There you go.
that day in the
Should
high
do
school
it. Keep it simple.
cafeteria in
Keep it short.
1995 when your big brother's friend Jared said, and I quote,
I've always liked Blade Runner more
Yes!
than Star Wars.
Jared is literally in prison right this minute, serving a 13 to 15-year
Yes.
sentence for involving minors, and I am in charge now. Jared, you did not ever, much less
Alright,
always,
Twitter.
like Blade Runner more than Star
Twitter,
Wars.
Twitter.
No teenager
Twitter,
in
Twitter.
1995 did. That's why anybody today likes
Twitter,
Blade
Twitter,
Runner
Twitter.
at all.
They're
Do
doing
not
Twilight?
prove
Get
this
the
point.
fuck out of town.
Let's change briefly to the
No.
topic of literature. For the purposes of research for
Dude,
this
I've seen
review,
these Twilight
I
movies so
reread
many
William
fucking
Gibson's
times.
mega-influential Sprawl trilogy, which begins with the legendarily pioneering cyberpunk novel Neuromancer. I also read all of William Gibson's Sprawl-adjacent short stories and rewatched the film Johnny Mnemonic, starring Keanu Reeves and featuring a script by William Gibson himself. In absolute transparent honesty, I will confess that
Okay, where
I
is the
first
Farron
read
drawing?
Neuromancer in 1994
Open that up, bitch.
at age 15.
Open it up.
One
Where's
year
Farron?
before, I heard
Where?
a guy lie that he'd always liked Blade Runner more than Star Wars. I had, at this time,
Oh, it's right
also
there.
seen
Open that
Blade
bitch
Runner
up.
exactly 3 times, simply because it had Indiana Jones
do you mean, oh,
and
no?
Han Solo in.
What do you
I had
mean,
added,
oh, no?
Figure out how to like Blade Runner more than Star Wars
Birds
to
are
my
not happy.
mental to-do list.
They
When
found
I first
out that
read
I put egg in
Neuromancer,
their food,
I had already
and now they're
played
pissed.
Shadowrun for Super Nintendo.
What do
I
you
had
mean,
seen
oh,
the
no?
film Johnny Mnemonic
It's a guy whose
exactly
videos never-
once.
Shut up, bro. You're so cringe. You know the... Alright, fine. I'm not gonna commit to my values and watch what I want. This soundtrack. Haha, Buttercup Chinese. If it isn't the gang, we're missing tape deck. Wolfgangers. The only gangs that you guys are gonna deal with are the gangs of my fists. Okay, hold on. Why do you say cringe shit? Okay. Yeah. Look at that. That's some detail. That's some detail, brother. Now go to the Twitter thread. All these people hating on Twilight clearly don't have moms who are obsessed with it. And they clearly wouldn't watch a fucking movie for their mother to save their fucking lives. Shame on you, non-mom movie enjoyers. Shame on you, you freaks. You wouldn't watch a movie with your mother? It's looking nice, thanks. You're looking nice. Twilight was bussin'? What cringy video is this? It's music! You never played The Sim? I farmed social credit with a girl in middle school by reading it? You read the fucking thing? What the hell's the matter with you? Well, social credit with a girl, that makes sense. Yes! Bro, what the fuck? You're powerful. And I'm gonna start talking. Okay, she didn't believe. That's... Oh, no. There's the belief. There's the screaming. Well, I hope it worked. Did it work out? Oh, The Sims, yeah. Did you call it cringe? Fuck you, it's not cringe. Remember The Sims 1? Sims 1 and 2, incredible games. I don't think I like 3, but I can't tell you why. And from what I understand, The Sims now just turned into a microtransaction hellhole, I think? Like, every fucking modular thing is, like, money that you need to buy. If you want, like, a cup that says I love my dog in it, you need to, like, pay $3. It's cringy to me? You don't... What's the... You're a Sim... You reek of SimCity is what you like. You're a SimCity kind of guy, huh? Person. Yeah, no, me, I've always been a Sims over a SimCity, even though SimCity was pretty cool. Damn, it's called you a SimCity cook. SimCity had the fucking disaster. What could you do in The Sims? You could, like, kill your Sims? You could make them drown and stuff? But in SimCity, you could do, like, earthquakes, tornadoes, meteors. All these simulation games, bro. All these games to simulate. Okay, I'll allow myself to be a bit irresponsible. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys qualifiers. I'm gonna give you. I've got to qualify the shit out of my statements. What I'm about to do is engage in behavior that I think is mayhaps unhealthy and toxic. I want you to consider that, and obviously you guys are your own adults, but I often find, and this statement is irresponsible in itself, but I don't care, I often find that people in the art community, especially people that are young, kind of blindly sometimes repeat things that they hear in YouTube videos, and this is not what I want. I want you to hear the fact that I'm telling you that I'm about to say some toxic shit, and remember that. I've been watching some videos that I think are not great, but they come with good intentions. What debate is this? There's no debate, okay? The only debate is... Why am I always picking on Buttercup? That's the debate. Am I picking on Buttercup? Let's see. I've come across something that makes me bubble with rage. This video, how the worst art advice in the art community, just draw every day, which has genuine sentiments and comes from a good place, led me to videos that I thought even fucking worse. And it reminds me of what I did to Xena, with no thought or care behind the advice. Not this one, but this led me down a rabbit hole of artists that post on Twitter on what are you gonna call it? Play the video? I'll play the fucking video. Mind you, okay, yeah, just play the video.
Just draw every day is probably the most hated art advice in the entire art community, and everyone and their grandma has heard someone say just draw every day on the internet or in real life when an artist is seeking advice from people who are better at art and are supposedly trying to help them improve with their drawings. And don't get me wrong, it sounds like pretty good advice for the most part, but every time I tried to put it into practice, I always ended up getting so frustrated with the results I was getting in my art and slowly got burnt out and lost motivation for making art entirely. And this totally has nothing to do with people telling you to draw every day, thinking it is good advice that can make you improve, since on the surface level, drawing every day seems to be the only logical way to see improvement, because you're repeating a method of practice over and over, and since practice makes perfect, at the end of the day you should have a good image, right? Wrong. Well, for most people, including myself, this sadly doesn't always result in outstanding drawings. So today we're going to talk about the popular art advice, just draw every day.
How long is this video? It's 14 minutes. Listen, you asked for it. But the thesis of the video is basically that drawing every day without a plan, without a curriculum, and without targeting what you want to improve, practice the same horrible methods over and over again. Yeah, basically this is what the video boils down to, which is I think is taking the advice of just draw every day, being uncharitable, and then making a video about it, which is fine, it's not a problem. But this led me down a chain of other creators who, in my opinion, feel like a cult of personality more so than making, which you can if you're creator first, right? If you're a personality first, nothing wrong with you revolving your YouTube channel around your personality. There's a reason why people want to watch you, and it's probably not just because you draw fucking good, right? But it kind of makes me fucking cringe. Even like, I don't know what were they debunked videos? Curiosity Killed George. Fuck, I won't fucking. Am I gonna find it? I don't want you guys to look at my fucking history, because if there's like any porn or anything weird like that, you guys are gonna freak. There's no porn on YouTube, you silly boy. Where is it? I'm not gonna be able to find it, am I? There are some of the videos. Oh god, where was the girl? You should probably have this shit. This person. I watched this person. Bing Chiling, Yeet Boy world record. I saw it. What world record? Wait, did you see something that? Did you see something bad? This person's channel.
If you wanna watch me train a read, it's on the screen. I don't. There are an artist on the internet who does speed paint and sells brushes, and of course,
your porn paranoia is funny.
That's their thing. They've got 600k followers on the ground.
If I make a big deal about it, nobody will. Do you remember Dane Cook? Nobody likes Dane Cook. I liked Dane Cook when I was in high school. I'll admit it. But Dane Cook had a thing that I thought was very true. It was a world record. Oh, yeah, I was in that. Yeah, because I was in that. I was in the world. It was, that's old DGG. And that's even, I was already world record E-boy. World record E-boy. Listen, I need to make. I need to have my cameos ready to go. Where is it?
No,
Okay, I'm that part, right?
As soon as
Yep,
you announce
exactly.
it,
Yeah,
as soon
There's
as you
JKI4,
announce it,
Healer
it'll be
Pains. Where's
pretty
me?
bad.
Okay, so for
Yeah,
That's a
yesterday.
Destiny, I challenge you to a Yee boy.
Okay, wait a
I
second.
challenge you to a Yee boy
when you do
right
the
now.
countdown
Where
timer,
am
does
I?
the yee boy start when you say yee or when you hit boy?
Yeah,
That's a
yesterday.
that's
There I am!
Destiny, I challenge you to a Yee boy.
Okay.
I told you he's got to go in the chamber.
He has to go calm
He
down.
actually
He has to
prepared
prepare
for it. It
himself
took
and
like
everything.
multiple.
It took me multiple attempts. Yes.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty.
not something you
good.
can just be like,
Yesterday.
I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah,
That's a
yesterday.
Destiny, I
Yesterday.
challenge you to a Yee
Yesterday.
boy.
Okay, wait a
That's
second.
me
When
cucking
When
in
you
the
do the
background.
countdown timer, does the yee boy start when you say yee or when you hit boy?
Boy.
Boy.
It's when you hit the E in the boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
It's at the end,
Like that.
Doombud,
Other champion, though,
we can
we
do
had
it
somebody
right now.
go for how long
That's
was it?
me.
Was it?
It was
30?
Aghanim.
Yeah.
Aghanim
How long did he
is-
do it for?
Aghanim-
That was me. See, that's why I had it on my mentions because I was like, oh my god, I'm in that. How many years ago was that? That was 6 years ago. Bro, that was a long ass time. Okay, but this
I'm
person.
not quite sure if people know them or not.
I don't
want to
watch this whole ass video.
Been awestruck ever since. Your mainstream Joe usually thinks that the more realistic a photo is, the better, and that all artists are constantly striving for that. This is their audience, people who don't know a lot. They've probably not.
There's some
drawn
good
a lot,
advice here.
because as someone who's drawn before, that
Not
that
advice. Basically, what this person do is they're
Process
debunking an
seems a
account
bit,
that pretends to be good at art.
a bit questionable, a bit unnecessary. Why are drawing the eye sockets and the nose cavity? That's underneath everything. Why are you doing that?
Okay, this is what I'm talking about here. Okay, sorry. This is what I'm getting to. I'm watching these YouTube videos of these artists, and I'm seeing a lot of people critiquing methods that might seem silly or stupid. However, ultimately, you can find a lot of artists that work in unorthodox ways. That's not to say that this person's wrong. The art account that they're reviewing being like, I don't know what you call it, fake, was clearly doing some weird stuff. She's reviewing a video of a guy who probably has artwork prepped underneath a layer of work in progress, and then they erase the work in progress to make it seem like they're painting in all the detail that's actually underneath the other layer, which is, I don't know what you call it, fake in a certain way. The problem is this idea of, the more I'm watching these videos, the more I'm finding that all these people in the art community that are super pretend wholesome and super accepting are kind of fucking judgmental. I'm finding more and more judgy people in this whole fucking thing of, I'm not in whatever you want to call the art community. I don't watch art YouTube videos. I kind of gotten into some of them. I like Ergo Josh because to me that guy is fucking bass. Proco is fucking bass. But the more I'm looking at these videos, the more I'm finding like a plethora of judgment. Do you guys remember what's his name? Andrew Wallace? Anthony Wallace? What the fuck was his name? He had like people started making fun of him for like crying on YouTube. Do you know what I'm talking about? D'Angelo Wallace. That guy, holy fuck, that guy was like a plethora of just being judgmental. Which I'm all for, by the way. I'm all for like judgment. The only problem is kind of weird seeing this from, as far as I can tell, like a community that prides themselves so much on being like accepting and like super like wholesome. But maybe that was never the case. I'm not sure. I'm not in touch with the community but like that D'Angelo Wallace guy. Holy fuck. That's why he's a drummer YouTuber now? Yeah, 100%. It's just so fucking weird. It's weird. Because, and maybe I'm conflating, right? Maybe like this whole thing about being wholesome is like in real life. But I've always heard this idea. I've always had this feedback of like, people who are often judgmental with art will get the boot. They will get like picked on. People will be like, you're so unnecessarily mean and stuff like that. I don't feel like that's the case. And maybe this is like baby's first introduction to tribalism. But it feels like everyone pretends, everyone makes these statements of like, there is no such thing as like making bad art. Oh, there is no bad path. Oh, there is no bad method. It's just art. And at the end of the day, it's like this whole fucking wholesome thing. Except when it comes to somebody who you don't like or disagree with. In that case, then what it shows me is that you had all these thoughts that you yourself would consider toxic. You just didn't let loose on someone who you liked is the thing. Which is fair, humans do this. I don't know, dude. The more I watch art YouTubers, the more I kind of fucking hate it. I'm making a list. This sounds so weird. Yeah, I guess he is a drama YouTuber. But I'm making a personal list. I'm keeping a list of people who like I trust and who I'd listen to. Tony? Tonko? What the fuck's his name? Like the little yellow animation dog? Tonko? I should make like a list of fuck, what the fuck is his name? Is it How Creativity Will Kill You? Yellow dog. If I look this up, I'll probably find it. What the fuck is his name? Tonki? No. What the fuck? Animation, YouTube, passion. Yeah, type in like that. Saber Spark? No, I know Saber Spark. Fuck, I'm not gonna find him now, but I am subscribed to him. If I go to my subscriptions, yeah, my 280 subscriptions, I'll probably find him. No, I won't. These are not separated. These are not listed in order. As an art community outsider, his searing condemnation of mainstream hypocrisy terraforms the banks of the mainstream. The hottest insights, the coolest. Wolf, shut the fuck. I'll be invoicing you for these channel. Oh no, that was really good. I thought you were condemning me, but no, you're. Listen, these are not insights necessarily. Oh god, dude, Toniko, this guy, excellent source. What I want to do. You know what? Maybe I'm stupid. Because the more I'm thinking about it, what's a YouTube for? Are you gonna sit there and have no fucking personality while talking? No. It's like I said, YouTube is like, as far as I can tell, if you have like a channel and your personality, it's probably gonna be a cult of personality. And I'm gonna punish these artists for having personal opinions and sharing them? To some degree, yes. No, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't know. Actually, let me think about this, okay? I don't know. I just don't like... Maybe the art community was never wholesome. Maybe that's what it was. And I got into these false pretense that they were. So when I see like popular artists online being kind of like, I don't know what you call it, like drama-y, it frustrates me. Because where was this attitude? Never mind. You know what I am? I'm a grumpy old man. I'm not even that old. I'm just a grumpy man, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I thought we weren't allowed to be toxic. Because I enjoy being toxic to a certain degree. But more than anything, I like the idea of being fair. I don't know, dog. I don't know. It's frustrating. Old man literally mad at clouds. Sounds like another circling... Sounds like just another case of circling the wagons for your homies. What does that mean? What is the terminology? What is circling wagons? Circling wagons. Is it unite against a common purpose? Probably. Like, people find somebody that they don't like, and they're like, yeah, let's fucking beat their ass. Let's shit on Sniper Wolf. Honestly, it's doxing someone's home that bad, really? Jax Films. I'm just kidding, by the way. Probably is pretty bad. Honestly, Destiny was on stream saying how like Jax Films is kind of like obsessed and he didn't get the joke. I think it's hilarious to upload like daily critiques of somebody who is, in your opinion, quote unquote, stealing content. I don't know enough about copyright and transformative content. If you ask me about ethics, I'm not gonna have an answer for you because I am your average person, right? But Destiny was saying that Jax Films is kind of like obsessed, and that's kind of weird. But I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a bit cathartic, and maybe there I am being a part of the mob group that I'm complaining about. It does feel kind of cathartic having the idea that this person does like blind reacts, gets 12 times the audience that you do without giving any, like, again, the react stuff is like old talking points. It happened like, what, 2 weeks ago, and that's already old by internet time. But it does feel kind of cathartic to have somebody be like, you know what? I'm gonna critique your fucking content every day. Every fucking time you post one of these. It's kind of Giga Chad. And I don't feel like it's that fucking harmful. And I feel like it makes a point. Like, I can't imagine Jax Films is making videos every day calling her, like, X or Y. I have not seen any of them. Let me give you that piece of context. I can't imagine. But I want to see what the defense is for thinking that you can just... I want to see people criticize Jax Films. I want to see what Destiny thinks. I want to hear him say how Jax Films is in the wrong or how he's being weird here. It's a fucking point. Every day. Every day he's posting. Every day he's... And I think it's good. It's a good way to protest. That's what he is. He's a hero and he's protesting. Dude, I wish I got to go to TwitchCon. Oh, God. I wish I got to go to TwitchCon. A true folk hero? Kind of. To be fair, why is this a problem that anybody would give a fuck about, right? How many people are realistically posting on YouTube and having their views stolen? Probably not that many. You know what I heard? Famous talking point. I'm sure you guys all heard it. If you have 10 viewers on Twitch, you're already, like, what, on the 10% of Twitch? Maybe 20%? And if that applies, if you're a consistent YouTube uploader, maybe you're already part of, what, like, maybe 30% of content creators that have, out of everybody on Earth who watches YouTube, how many of those people are actually uploading, do you think? Probably not that many, if any at all. Like, the number's so minuscule. We're just speculating here, okay? I don't want to be held responsible for any statement that I make right now. Because we're just saying shit. We're not... What would we do to research this? I fucking hate you guys. Even without being personality invested people, being content goblins does affect the YouTube ecosystem. When you say content goblins, do you mean like unethical reacting? Is that what you're talking about? What does ethical reacting look like? I wish there was systems. Okay, if this is such a big part, that's why I can't be too mad at YouTube for killing ad blockers. In the end of the day, it benefits the video creator. That's true. You know what's weird? I'm interested in the fantasy. You can shit. I can shit on people for wanting to spend their time thinking of delusions that will never happen, and they should focus on a problem. But on this specifically, I want to kind of dream about delusions. Why doesn't YouTube come up with a really good? This would be really good. If you contain a certain percentage of someone's video on your YouTube video, you should be able to. YouTube should have a feature that, dude, this is insane. Mind you, I don't know how to program. I am not a developer. I don't know any of this. So this is kind of literally just wishing, right? This is like just sitting here wishing. But it would be cool if YouTube had a program that could maybe realize how much of a percentage of somebody's video is in your video and allocate certain funds from viewership onto their fucking channel. That would be fucking cool. Mind you, I don't know how this would work for channels that are unpartnered or unaffiliated with YouTube, because I think if you upload, you can't enable monetization unless you are a certain kind of big poop guy. Stop making poop jokes. Nobody fucking likes them, bro. You're literally a fucking weirdo. Sorry, I got carried away. Yeah, that would be perfect. It would be super hard to... Yeah, it would. And it would be like a financial fuckfest, too. I know this is not clear and cut. I'm going to ask people who are much smarter than me, and if nobody has an answer, that's okay. But ethically, even if you transform someone's content enough, is the original creator entitled to anything, even if it's just like a fucking cent? Like, if you displayed that, like, this... Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know, because now I'm thinking about music and sampling, and I don't even know how that would... I just realized the magnitude of the shit that I'm saying, and I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. If that applied to videos, it would apply to music or any other art. Oh god, I don't know. And who would, like... Would there be, like... Who would allocate the money amount? Who would say, you sampled this person's thing for how many minutes or how many seconds? So the original artist deserves... Oh god, I don't know. Dog, I do not know. Probably some portion of profits, yes. The problem is actually implement... Yeah, it would be fucking Actually, this is what AI should be fucking for. Hello... Oh god. No, you're doing that thing where you're a consumer who doesn't know anything about the actual mechanics of how something works, and you're just saying things that you wish would happen. Never mind, don't listen to me. I'm just a artist. I'm just a workhorse. That's what I am. Literally trusting AI to do anything. Actual comedian. I saw a video on someone's... Oh, fuck. Maybe it would be irresponsible for me to have this conversation. Okay, I'm gonna talk to this, and I want you to keep in mind that I don't feel confident in what I'm talking about. But it was a video that I saw on someone else's Discord of a program that they found which lets them do 3D animation that would just let you do keyframes, and AI would take care of the in-betweening. Now, you're cutting out a person's job there because previously you'd had somebody to do that menial task. That's probably good, right? I don't know. Here's what I think. I feel like you can have granular and this is not anything. Okay, I want to remind you that I am a fucking artist, so this is probably something that is obvious for everybody, but hasn't interpolation already existed for years? This is just a better version of that. Essentially, I'll link the video. This might be interpolation that's... I do not know because I don't use 3D software, but this might be interpolation that's accessible at a much more... I don't know what you call it.
I tried out this new AI-powered animation software and I'm really impressed and quite excited about it. So if you're a beginner or a pro, I think it's well worth taking a look and I'll show you why. So something that's really held me back from really getting into animation more and maybe even making my own short film and games is the time these things take. I really thought that AI might actually help with this, but so far it's not doing what it should in my mind do. In my mind, AI should be solving the boring, time-consuming processes that should just be automated, like UV unwrapping or retopology. Now those are the areas I want to see AI taking over. I want to be able to be free with my artistic skills and then have my workflow sped up with some AI tools. I don't want AI to be the artist, I want AI to help the artist. This is why I like what Cascadeur have done. They are using AI to make the animation process a lot quicker and faster, but still keeping the artist or the animator in control. So yes, allowing the animator to be an animator and not trying to do everything for you. And the results, well, they're really fast, really good. Let me show you. So when you first come into Cascadeur, you can use one of their sample models to play around with, or you can easily bring in your own as long as it's rigged.
Mind you, I've worked with Maya, and I've made animation with Maya quite a bit for school. Quite a bit. I was not that good. But never did I work with like interpolation. Never did I use anything with it. So this might be
rigged, you can take it across to something like Mixamo,
I don't know what tool or how you do it.
Bring it in
this might be the tools more accessible. This might be a program that lets you use those tools more accessibly.
I'll just use the standard file so you can see some of the really cool things about it. Now if I come around to the front here and let's say move this arm, you can see that when the arm moves, the rest of the body starts to move with it. So the other arm is balancing out, the knees are crouching slightly, trying to adjust to that arm's position. And this is what they call auto-posing. It's using artificial intelligence to figure out where the other parts of the body ought to be placed. So let's say if I move this leg up, you can see the whole body shifts as this leg rises into the air. Or if I change the way the front is pointing here, you can see the whole body twisting around. And that just makes it...
Only problem is I could see, and I don't know the extent of the software, I could see this being a problem with rigs that aren't supposed to move in a very human way, or rigs that are like you make something, unless this has a feature that lets you like untoggle the AI realistically making like the movement work. But like think of rigs like the fucking Guilty Gear models and how they move. I was watching a fucking video on how much the models get fucking distorted depending on camera, because it's a fighting game, right? You're not going to have 360 control. Like, who gives a fuck if you use like the illusion of perspective to make a shot look really cool? This wouldn't work for those unless it lets you disable it. I don't know. It's just interesting. But what I was trying to say before is that like before those in-betweens, before that would be someone else's job, right? Like I'm pretty sure that's something you do as a 2D animator when you get into the industry. Is if you're a junior animator, you are doing a lot of in-betweening for your keyframe animator. I don't know if that's still the case. From what my teachers made it sound, that is still the case. But maybe that's a job that'll go away with like interpolation, like digital drawing and stuff like that. You know what I saw the other day? I saw, and I should have saved this video, I saw that for animation, there is already programs that are using AI to see where you paint bucket something and to track the progress of that area where you paint bucket it and to just do the coloring for you. And before, you'd have like a motherfucker whose job is probably to do in-betweening and to fucking boop, 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 boop every time, right? To make sure you click on that fucking paint bucket. And that's like a job that goes away. But the keyframing, I don't know how an AI could ever do that sort of decision making, that like creative decision making. I just don't think an AI could do that. And I'll play the fucking Sasuke video again if I have to. I don't know. It's just interesting. Yeah. Why did I start talking about this? You guys are fucking my... Oh, yeah, because we were talking about fucking AI and Try to figure out how to pay properly content creators. Surely way I will make copium. I don't know. I don't know anything about AI. I'm just thinking out of all the uses that AI could have that I feel like would be beneficial and contribute to art, that would be one of them. I can see a lot of people saying like, well, but letting people that never made art before make art, quote unquote. I don't want to talk about AI again because last time it kind of felt a little bit weird. I'm sure some people could make the argument that making art more accessible to people is a good use of it, but I don't know. Yeah, doing grunt work would be really cool. I think so, but I don't know. That comes from somebody who'd be like, damn, it'd be fucking awesome if somebody could do the fucking in-betweening for me, right? But that might be a really short-sighted view of it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, amigos. I have no fucking clue. Back with the Sims music. But yeah, if there was a way... I think the watch parties idea are all the watch party ideas are already really cool, and I don't know why. Probably because all the answers that I can think of are probably going to be like, well, companies are greedy and this and that. But I think the idea of having like legal license for streaming platforms to let, I don't know, content creators watch movies and shows together with a large audience is really fucking cool. I just imagine that it's probably not as allowed or as cool or whatever it is, because I imagine it's probably a nightmare to monetize all of those people if you're a Warner Brothers and you want to suck every fucking cent for... I don't know about the monetization or the ethics, and maybe we should get more educated about, because that's a topic that I would love to talk about, but that would require me to read and do work, amigos, okay? And if I haven't got lived experience, then goddamn, doing research for that would be a pain. YouTube plus Twitch integration to attribute live streaming viewers to a video sounds like a mess and a half. It's so easy to speak from the perspective of somebody who just has updates dumped on their feet and doesn't know what goes into them. I'm speaking as exactly that. I have no idea. I have no fucking clue the work that goes into that. I have no idea. And obviously I take it for granted because I just get an update and I'm like, oh fuck, this is awesome. Why can't more shit do this? But I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm sure half of the fucking... Is it cool to call them tech monkeys? Is that like a bad term? I don't know what to call it. I just feel like being kind of mean to them because whenever art gets spoken about on DGG, these guys always come out and are dicks. Okay, so I want to be a dick, but maybe that's not fair. I'm sure calling anybody a monkey. Well, actually, I am the biggest ape. I am actually a Rajang, so you can call me that. I don't care. Surely that will go well. Surely that won't be a fucking problem. Oh, dude, I wish I was going to TwitchCon. There's always next year, guys. There's always next year. There we go. Also, I hope you guys all did your homework and watched Freren, because I'm going to be working on a Freren piece. There it is. I kind of realized the more and more I work on this piece, because I was using another piece of beautiful artwork as like reference for like the palette that I wanted to go with, but I think green and orange is more sun rising than sun setting, so who knows? God, I missed this. I loved these games when I was little. Fuck, I loved these games when I was fucking little, bro. Age of Mythology was my fucking jam. I used to play so many games when I was young. I don't know what happened where I started being so fucking picky, but now I just don't care for so much stuff. Obviously, when you're young, you probably can't afford to be picky because there's just a video game in front of you when you live where I lived and you just took it. You just went right with it. So many games that I played that I would never touch again with a 10-foot pole, but at the time I gave them a chance. Also, do you guys remember what it was like before you guys had an idea of what game development was at all in any way, shape, or form? And you ever open up a game and you thought anything was possible in it, unironically? Yeah, I played the same 3 demos over and over. Dude, I remember opening up Oblivion and playing it at a friend's house and thinking you could do anything. Obviously, Sid Meier's golf. Wait, Sid Meier made golf games? I don't even know if Sid Meier's a developer or if he wrote books. I know Tom Clancy wrote books. He sure as fuck didn't work on fucking half of the Tom Clancy games. But I guess it's Tom Clancy after his IP, I guess, is what they call it. But, dude, I remember opening up Oblivion and thinking you can do anything in this game. Or hearing about Fallout and being like, fuck, you can do anything in this game. Obviously, you can't. Some games still give me that sense of wonder. I lost it so long ago. I'm constantly... It's so hard to get me to get immersed in a game. And I can't tell if it's my fault or if it's the game's fault. Where I'm thinking about the constraints. Like, I'm thinking about there's no way they... Like, I'll be playing Baldur's Gate, and I'll make decisions because I'm thinking to myself, like, there's no way they programmed this. There's no way they've accounted for this. And often Baldur's Gate will break that. Like if I think of something like there's no way they accounted for this and I do it, they'll often like just this morning I saw a video of the dwarf that has the Ironhand dwarf that's gonna like kill herself with the rune powder. And it's just like, don't come any closer, I'll blow it up. And somebody made a video of them stealing the rune powder before she realizes you're in a room. And then he's like, bro, metagaming and stuff. Yeah, I am. Absolutely. It's fucked. And I wish I wouldn't do that, but my brain is just like that now. And it happens quite a bit. It's the problem. It's the problem with going to film school and having friends in film school, or in any fucking where like these people go into that as part of their field, and now they can't look at things like normally again. I don't know how many friends you are with like film students. We had to study some film for my program, some. It was wonderful studying film. But these fuckers are always thinking about how like, and I do this too. It's like, oh my god, this shot could have been so much better. They should have done this. And like you just stop getting immersed and enjoying yourself. It's really fun. It's why I love shows that manage to get me to kind of forget about that and just watch it. Freren was like that. And like later on a second rewatch, I kind of kept that annoying meta analytical eye on, but before that I didn't. Man, that show's so good. I'm never gonna shut up about things that I like, guys. It sucks to be you, I'm sorry. Oh god, I love this song. Once again, you know how the sausage is made. But I feel like that's a me problem. The inability to get immersed because you're thinking these meta thoughts and you're wondering, like, I feel like that's a person issue, not a game issue. Mind you, some games will take you out of the experience. You're mentioning the 100 different ways that Baldur's Gate was taking you out of the experience. By having, like, the 100 bugs, by having, like, the weird prompted dialogue in areas that felt, like, awkward. Just be a lit Chad, no stupid ass boundaries, not just words on a page. True. It sucks because it feels like there is so much good, I don't know what you call it. It feels like literature is so rich, and yet I hate it. Actual literature, like written books. It feels like for thousands of years, very smart people had very smart things to say about telling narratives and how to use techniques to improve storytelling, but these motherfuckers were confined to book. Feels like there's so many wonderful minds. It's all written. It's all fucking written, bro. It fucking sucks. There's so many literary devices that are incredible, and if I mention any of these to like book friends of mine when I watch anime, like wonderful devices that are used in storytelling, they'll look at me and mention confined to a book. I'm not reading. It is confined. I'm not reading a book. I mean, that's not gonna happen. The only confined to a book. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, I'm not wasting my fucking time putting my finger because I'm some kind of wrong fucked with my brain, dyslexic. I don't know what it is. And I have to, it spawns art in your head when you read. It does, but the problem is that then I'm not reading. I am no stupid ass artist to interpret for you. It just spawns art. Yes, you're correct. The problem is that I can't keep reading if it's spawning art in my head because I have some kind of fucking problem where now I'll be reading a wonderful sentence. It'll describe something beautiful, and then now I'm in my head and I stop reading the book. And now I run off with that. And next thing you know, I'm already in fucking Santa Barbara, and the book's right here in my hand, and I'm not making progress because I'm caught up, so I have to keep jolting myself back to reality. Oh, fuck, no. You're reading. It's a me problem. It's a me problem. Confined. It's confined. I want you to understand that I'm not nearly as smart as I make myself out to be, and it makes me sad. You could be so much smarter. I am smarter about the things that I like, but those are... That's fine. Take as long as you need to develop the world in your mind. The book isn't going anywhere. But then you'll... but then... What's the rush? What's the rush? What do you need to... Fuck, I hate... Life happens, and you can't be stuck reading a book for 20... I mean, you can. You can. What do you want me to do? It's your fault. What are you asking me here? It's funny how I mention a problem, and then people will give me a solution. And when I don't like the solution, I'm like, well, what are you trying to do here? What's your objective talking to me? Like I wasn't here in the first place being like, I got a problem! And you're like, you ever thought of this? I'm like, what do you want? What's your objective here? What are you trying to do? What are you getting at? Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, God, I'm such a hypocrite. I love it, though. No, I don't. Do I? The girl complaining to me where they don't want... Yeah, kind of, right? Because all I did here was sit here and complain about books, and you're like, take your time with the book. And I'm feeling, like, defensive, like I want to fight you, like... What do you want here? What are you trying to get out of me? Why are you asking me these things? I don't know. That's something that's overrated, being like introspective and self-critical, because then you're just stuck doing nothing. Like me. I'm not moving forward because I'm self-critical about everything. Can I make a complaint? No. Everyone's a hypocrite, so you shouldn't say anything. It's like, oh, great, this is awesome. In a sense, I feel like I understand the other side. Remember how every fucking week I'll sit here and I'll talk about the people that I hate and how they just say something unabashedly. This sucks, Giga Chad. This stinks, Giga Chad. This is awful, Giga Chad. You're touching an idea that sort of... Oh, I know that name. I heard it before. I wish I could pronounce it, but I know who I don't know who you're talking. I heard the name before. The idea of introspection submitting outward greatness, in short. This isn't greatness. This is cuckness. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my top 5 here when you're actually trying to have a conversation. Submitting outward greatness. Oh, submitting, like introspection submitting outward great. I'm stuck in that sentence. What you're saying is that introspection prevents you from having outward greatness or action or okay. I don't know if that's what you're saying. Submissing. Fuck that one up, bro. Submissing. It's like submission, right? Subsumming. Read with your fucking head, you fucking animal. Stop laughing at me. We're all laughing together. Type in chat, we're laughing together, or you're all banned. If anyone's there's no ats in chat, there's withs. We're all a big troop. No one's laughing at me. To include or absorb. Ah. So okay, so let's reread that sentence and let's look. Introspection, subsumming. So it's absorbing outward greatness. It's sucking it in. There's no greatness outwards because you're sucking it in with introspection. Because you're you're not acting. You're thinking about the trolley problem so much that you never flip any switch and everyone dies because that's what happens in the trolley problem. If you don't flip a switch, everyone blows up. That's the part that they don't tell you, bro. I just don't like admitting that my brain is a big Markov chain. That's the problem, okay? I don't like thinking about that. I don't like it. I like to seem so smart. I've been so lucky in my life to be surrounded by so many smart people, and I've managed to absorb like about maybe 10% of it. And it's frustrating. it's frustrating because I feel like, dude, being an artist and being like really fucking smart must be such a Giga Chad combo. It must be such an impressive combo. Like, people probably look at you and like, damn, this guy draws, but like he's smart. I revel too much in idiocy though. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoyed this conversation, no matter how much I'm looking like a clown. Like, this is funny. Or maybe I'm coping really hard. Who knows? You'll never be able to tell. You can have your theory, but you won't fucking know. You're not in my head. Cult of personality. It's happening right now. Ain't no time for books for this drawing, fool. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I was watching a video on... The producer she hates Ultra Hand. Wow, you want to tell him what you're talking about before you fucking jump ship, amigo? I hate how I talk to myself. That's so stupid. My producer is playing through Tears of the Kingdom, and she fucking hates Ultra Hand, and it's so funny. It's so funny. 10 weeks on a drawing, can't spare 5 minutes to think about a scene in the book. But what book? You know the only book that I want to read? I have them. I have a huge pile of Vampire Hunter D written books because I thought they were manga when my dad owned the comic book shop, and he was like, "Yo, you wanna get Vampire Hunter D?" I was like, "Dad, I don't think anybody's gonna fucking read these books." And he's like, "Nah, surely there will be somebody," which is an awful way to run a comic book store. I love my dad. My dad's a very smart man. I think he kind of went out on a limb opening up that comic. It was kind of his dream, so I feel like he stopped thinking logically for that one for certain parts. And he got Vampire Hunter D, the novellas, or maybe somebody ordered. I don't remember. But we have all the Vampire Hunter D books, not all of them, but most of them, and that would be fucking awesome to read about, because that world looks so fucking cool. The Vampire Hunter D world is really fucking cool, but God, is it not explained at all in the fucking Bloodlust movie. It's awesome. Like, you have mechanical fucking horses, and like the producer is all about like design surfing function and having like history in the world, and it doesn't make sense why you'd have mechanical horses like that, but fuck does it look cool. It looks incredible. It looks amazing. It looks full of cum. Can it be the 14th already? I just want Stevie Weavy to come back. I'm so tired of... I'm genuinely starting to believe that maybe the number of movies that have been released are not that many, and that they've all been shown on DGG. And you know what I think would be wonderful? I think a actual DGG... I talked about this in chat, and somebody laughed at me. Fuck you. You spent time with... before... No, she's out! She's out! Isn't that right? I thought she was out. But I think DGG's seen every movie. And I thought about this. There should be a catalog. There should actually be... there should be a catalog of opinions from DGG, even if they're trolly ones. Every time a movie ends and people start spamming in their, like, dumb whatevers out of 10, there should be... That's what AI is for. There should be a thing that aggregates those scores. And there should be... This is how you community build. You make all these useless things so people can reference it afterwards. She's fine. She can go to jail? Or you... Wait, did I say that? STEM Lord opinions on movies? Yes! Especially if they're bad, because that'll be funny as fuck. Dude, if they're so bad, and they will be bad. Do you remember when people saw Everything Everywhere at Once? And everyone, I will never let people... I wish I could have named these motherfuckers. All of them were like, this movie sucks, this movie stinks, this is awful, this is some dumb shit. And then Destiny comes in. I was there in chat. He's not streaming, it's late at night. He's like, this movie was fucking incredible. I'm gonna go watch it with Lily. This is so fucking amazing. She'd go back to the US. Oh, big fucking poggies. Good for her. And everyone was shitting on it, and then Daddy comes home, and he says how amazing that movie was, and everyone comes around. The movie was really fucking good. It was sublime. But that's because people can't see art on their own terms in DGG. I'm doing that thing again. You sit in such a high horse, but it wasn't only like 2 minutes ago where you were being the pettiest motherfucker ever. People listen to you. 7 people listen to you talk. And everybody remembers when you were being a petty motherfucker. Okay, so maybe get off your high horse, Wolfgang. No, I will not. I don't know. It was just silly. But I wish they would keep a score, even if they're dumb as fuck, right? Because if you had a DGG score and it was known to be bad, that would be funny as fuck. And Destiny could use that on stream. Whenever he, like a movie like Oppenheim, and you know what there should be? No, it's fine. I love shitting on DG when it comes to art. Me too. You know there should be a score before Destiny announces his, and a score after Destiny announces his score, right? Just so we keep track of the fucking filthy animals that roam my streets. There should be a pre-Destiny score and a post-Destiny score. That would be fucking awesome. When we watch a new movie and everybody casts in their fucking lawn, that would be funny. That would be fucking awesome. And it'd be a good piece of, but again, this is somebody who paints and draws for a living and doesn't make anything. But that would be a cool fucking project. The amount of sheer movies that there are, so many though. Like, what was it? Recently, Destiny watched, what's that famous movie with Kaiser Soze? Usual Suspects, and he said that he didn't like it. I wonder how many people are going to change their minds, and next time fucking Usual Suspects is streamed, they're going to be like, overrated movie. That's the whole meme, though. People change their opinions as I see because they don't have... Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not like they being swayed by excellent... Remember Dune? Dude, Dune is so fucked, because I don't like Dune, but the way that Destiny... And the problem is that if you pin him down to it, he'll be much more nuanced. It's happened every time I call him out. Which is, I call him out about a bunch of stuff, but every time that I go talk to him, that I have the chance to talk to him, 3 times by the way, his opinion is so much more nuanced. And when you call him out on that nuance, he's like, bro, are you retarded? This was obvious to begin with. If you couldn't understand that, that's your fault. And then you sit there being like, fuck, is that right? Is that right? Is that really how it works? And you think, like, you're not the average person who hears his shaky analysis, and you're like, this is dumb. You think that you're the exception of retard. Oh wait, are they watching Twilight? Yeah, they are. Oh, the thing with the slow knife? I feel worried about giving my opinions on Dune because I feel like I also didn't understand a lot of it. My best impression that I understood of Dune was listening to Alt-Shift-X make a video about the draw of Dune, how it's these infinite political games, and people with like secret motives behind secret motives behind secret motives. And that sounds really cool. But it's confined to a page. And I am not about to watch Sting with the old-ass Dune movies, okay? I like Sting. I love Sting. I'm happy that they let him perform a song for Arcane, or that the staff behind Arcane was like, dude, you know who we should have for our final episode? We should have Sting sing a song as Jinx does her big thing. The problem with Dune is that the first movie covers the first half, extremely boring of the book. I believe that to be true. Like, it's probably like a lot of setup, maybe, probably. I had a friend who was doing a book club, and she would tell me about reading Dune, and she fucking hated most of it. But then again, that's one person's opinion. Can we talk about... Wait, hold on. Let's finish our Dune conversation. You have some kind of tism, dude. Because you can't just sit still. You need to talk about everything else. The producer was talking to me about this. It's like, did you ever get tired of looking for new anime and like watching new things and only finishing like a third of these? It's like you're obsessed with new experiences. It's like a problem. And I'm like, kind of, yeah. There are certain things that I watch that are so good where I need to finish them right away. I'll bring up Frieren again. Frieren is probably my top 5 anime that I've ever seen in my life, which I would love to make that list. Yeah, Dune doesn't pick up Arcane. Yeah, Arcane is fucking good. Arcane is... I will always mention, I would love to have a nuanced conversation about Arcane, even though overall it's mostly going to be lots of, this is really good. But man, it's directed like a music video. I will never stop saying that until I get somebody who worked on Arcane to tell me to shut the fuck up. I follow a couple of them. I don't think I'll ever get that big that they'll tell me to shut up. I wouldn't be surprised. Is it Studio Pastiche? Pastel? Pistachio? I forgot their name. But they work on most League music videos. I wouldn't be surprised if they used a lot of that knowledge to... Yeah, Dune doesn't pick up, so it's a pretty retarded place to end the movie. I want to know how you would have done it. I don't know the full story, but do you think there's like a better point for them to like I don't know. Well, it's an adaptation. Why would you stick so close? Like, I have, dude, it's complicated. It's... Oh. How does the copyright on movies work? None of this 1-part, 2-part dog shit. That'd be a lot to pack, though. By the sounds of it, the way people mention Dune is that it's been, and again, I'm turning my opinions a lot, I'm repeating a lot of what I remember AllShiftX saying, but that movie is almost unadaptable because there's so much. It's so dense with plots and hidden plots. There's no way to fit that in one movie. I don't know. I never read it. I'm just repeating what I've heard. And if it's as complicated as people make it sound, I could understand that being like a difficult thing. There was a movie recently that released, and I was like, how can they fit this possible? I don't know. Fuck, I wish I could remember things so I could actually have conversations with you guys. I was talking to the producer who was having some pretty hot takes, in my opinion, about critics. She was mentioning how kind of stupid it is to have a reliance on developing your taste through a critic, which I agree to. But at the end of the day, I think this is the ideal way that a relationship between a reader or a viewer and a critic should work is, I love that. I love that so much. But it doesn't happen, it seems. The thing that makes it so hard to adapt is the how did you read that? International is the internal experience that's going to be really hard to convey through film. Paul feeling million of divergent timelines, for example. Yeah, that's going to be tough. They can't just pull a Doctor Strange fucking flipping out and be like, I've seen all the futures in one, we win. Especially if it's happening very often, it'd be a very surreal feeling. And it'd be hard to convey that without internal monologue, which I feel like internal monologue can be such a cheap way of telling, not showing, in my opinion. But, I mean, some things are extremely fucking difficult to convey, so internal monologue, sometimes I think it has to be done. Maybe I'm coping because I'm not that creative when it comes to problem solving with, like, internal feelings. Will, like, show me a character's internal thought process, but that's gotta be fucking hard, right? Some, like, the feelings that you're describing of, like, sensing multiple thousands of timelines. When I hear that, how do we convey that in a character? My brain immediately goes to internal monologue. Because how do you fucking do that? No, I had an idea. Alright, so you have a character. Same camera angle. We don't break up the scene. Except, like, if he's, like, focusing, like, if he's closing his eyes and he's seeing, like, thousands of different possibilities, we cut to same pose, same face, but as we keep the same camera angle in the camera shot, what would you show on the screen while a character is yapping for 10 minutes? That's tough, too, right? Because, yeah, that makes it boring. But here's what I think. And I don't remember how Dune did this, but let's say Atreus closes his eyes. You have, like, a close-up. Maybe, like... Yeah, close-up, because close-up is, like, shoulder... Yeah, so you have, like, a close-up, right? Close his eyes. And as he closes his eyes, you don't have internal monologue, but what you have is you have background and his costume and his makeup changing rapidly, right? Like, you're cutting to the same acting, the same pose in 1,000 different positions as you, like... He's like, oh, fuck. And then you go back and... He's like, then he maybe explains, like, sorry, I'm just having, like, a moment in my head. And while that might be confusing for viewers, it's a pretty cool fucking way, and in my opinion, pretty clear way of depicting that he's going through something and he's seeing, like, 1,000 different possibilities. You don't need to cycle through, like, 1,000. Maybe do, like, 10. Less than 10. Do 7. Maybe 10. Right? How about that? That'd be a pretty cool way. We could do some tests. We could do some shooting tests. Figure out if that works. Mind you, I'm having this idea in, like, a vacuum, so I have no idea if it would fit the context of the scene, right? I'm just thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, what's the way of showing? You're in the wrong screen, brother! People would love to see Sims remastered screen. I feel like it would be jarring to come out of a scene you described, and then for Paul to suddenly talk about Galactic Jihad. But that's a good idea. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Some movies have a level of challenge. Can we talk about the One Piece live action? Because man, I did not like some of the decision making in that. But people, fuck. Okay, I'm sure this happened before. I feel like if you want to see something suffering, from, we'll show that we stuck to the source. No, you're being so bad faith. I feel like the One Piece adaptation stuck to sticking to the source material visually, and I don't feel like that worked really well. I feel like they should have stuck more to the source material in a lot of certain things. There are things that they did that are pretty good, like not keeping fucking boring-ass Don Krieg. Got rid of that guy. Good riddance. Holy fuck. I want to get the producer to watch One Piece, but I know that when we get to Baratier and Don Krieg, I already roll my eyes. Oh my god, what a boring fucking character. What a boring fucking conflict. I know that you have the guy with the two ball confas, and he's part of Don Krieg's crew, so it's important to show that whatever. But fuck, bro. It's a good thing they got rid of it. But man, it feels like most of the other decisions that they made that deviated from the original manga, I don't know, man. I was not a fan. I don't feel like it helped a ton, but people loved it. So clearly, I'm in the fucking minority. If the objective of a piece of media is to get renewed so that the story can keep being continued, it succeeded quite a bit, you know? So who am I? Tell me, who am I? I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes in chat to tell me who am I. I don't actually. I only want positive opinions, by the way. Cannot give me a negative opinion. How about like a fragmented prism background and all the... Oh! That could work. Oh, and you could have it like superimposed, like a camera flare almost. And the opacity kind of goes like, oh fuck, and it's like a little bit of a camera flare. And in those reflections, you see like tiny variations of the same fucking shot in many different situations. That could be cool. Although, that would be lost on the very, very basic dumbass fucking viewer, but it's a gamble, right? Like how much do you wanna sacrifice of your vision and like a cool idea to portray like a cool sentiment because the dumbest viewer, right? Spoon feeding is like a interesting thought. How much do you want to dumb things down for general audiences to understand? I'm not shitting on general audiences because they are the bread and butter of what will make your thing succeed or not. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. Cult classics aren't... Was Blade Runner successful when it came out? I thought Blade Runner was like a cult favorite. Like, you know, a small amount of people really liked it. So maybe general audiences don't matter that much. You're sitting here and you're doing that thing. We're debating with yourself and you can't take a stance. So you're sitting deeper and deeper on this fence post. And it's starting to like hit your fucking colon. They might even do something like that. Dune Part 1 didn't get into pulsing the future. Villeneuve has had an excellent vision for the movie in general, so I'm interested. Oh, yeah, we were talking about Dune. Destiny just kept saying that the shots were all like sand shots. I'm not gonna lie, as somebody who didn't care for the story of the movie Dune that came out, was it Dune 2018? 2016? It wasn't 2016, are you out of your mind? 2020? Dune 2021? For the newest Dune movie, visually that movie was fucking beautiful. It was. It really fucking was. And Destiny was like, it's not even that good looking, it's just a bunch of desert shots. Get the fuck out of here. At least they make the desert. It's not even the same looking desert all the fucking time. They've done a good idea with different color palettes. God, and there were some shots that were so fucking cool. People keep bringing up that shot of the Mongolian throat singing and everybody on like a, oh, that looked fucking cool. The architecture in the movie matches nearly one-to-one what I imagine reading the book, yet dumbing things down is a constant dilemma for me while making comics, because sometimes you get a few readers who didn't, and that's the shitty part. That's the shitty part. Because like the general audiences are going to be the people that keep you like afloat. But sometimes you have ideas that are so cool. And how can you tell if an idea is cooler if you're just so far up your own ass, too? I don't think I have confidence as a storyteller. I'm an artist, I'm a visual artist, and I love choreography, I love fight scenes. I think I can make I think I can do really good small scale storytelling with choreography and fight scene. But that doesn't require a whole lot of like, I don't know what you call it. It doesn't do anything crazy interesting except through the choreography. And I feel like at the end of the day, something that happens Oh, nice voice crack. Something that happens with fight scenes is that even if you're conveying story through a fight scene, at the end of the day, even if people don't get it, they think, wow, that was a cool fight scene. So you can have an out, in my opinion. But with like dialogue, with certain parts of storytelling, there's just no outs that you get. You know, if somebody didn't get it, they just didn't get it, and then they have to suck your mind through a straw. I think I'm starting to realize that no matter what happens, this stream will never be the informative thing that I want it to be. I think I don't read and know very little to be able to make this stream anything other than a vent session for people that understand, like, oh, I can relate to that. But I don't think you can ever make this as informative as I hope to be. Unless the things that I mention are so unheard by anybody else that even this can manage to somehow be informative. Which, thinking about it, I can think of like the worst people that I've spoken to in DGG when it comes to this stuff. Maybe this is informative to somebody. Maybe somebody out there will learn something from watching this. Knowing that you have... Wait. Knowing that you know little is knowing a lot. You know what? That's true. I'm a goddamn genius. I'm a goddamn genius. I will say this thought, even if it's disjointed, because I want to get it out. I adore the premise of critiques, of critics, and people engaging with critics. I adore the idea that in a world where people can't realistically watch every piece of media that comes out by themselves, they have people who can recommend them things. Except the responsibility of the viewer is to find a critic who has similar taste to them so that they don't get fucking annoyed when they listen to Anthony Fantano shit on your Death Grips album. I don't know, I don't listen to Anthony Fantano, but I feel like very often people will listen to whatever critic they find on YouTube, and then they align themselves with a critic that has completely different taste from them, and then they get mad when they don't like something. I feel like every single consumer should be smart enough to seek out a critic that has similar tastes, and I feel like that relationship between like a critic being like your guy, you have your guy, and I think when I say that, I was talking to the producer about this, and she was like, yeah, but that's fucking dumb. You should make your own opinions. And that is true, but I feel like there's a difference. Before you guys even say it, I'm fighting fights that haven't even happened yet. You guys haven't even retorted to what I said, and I'm already fighting with you guys. I want you to understand that I literally see the future, and I'm fighting with your future selves. Before somebody say like you should develop your own opinions, which is a true statement, this is speaking as somebody who already knows their own taste. You should find a critic whose tastes align with yours, and then you should take every recommendation, as they say, as a recommendation, and not as a matter of fact, and just repeat what your critic said verbatim without engaging on that piece of art by yourself. Or you add the disclaimer: I haven't seen it. This is what I've heard from somebody who has similar taste than me. There's a reason why I have a list of possible 10 out of 10s. I have no idea if they will be, and saying that they're likely to be 10 out of 10s is kind of fucked. But I trust the people that told me. I'll probably love them. When you start ranting about art, it's pretty informative sometimes. There's a lot that I don't know. Yes! Subscribe! Give me a follow. It's just very disjointed, and I most certainly have some kind of ADHD. I don't care if it's cringe. I'll self-diagnose all day, every day. I hope you've realized that. I will self-diagnose myself with things that I don't even have. I want you to understand this. I don't care how plausible. I have a tongue that can't bend all the way. There's... Diagnosed, bitch. I'm sorry. This is not behaving correctly. Maybe we should tackle more difficult topics, huh? What do we say? Maybe we should tackle more difficult topics about media. It seems fine to delegate critical responsibility to someone that you've determined to agree. I think so too. I feel like ultimately you have a responsibility to honesty when it comes to recommending media. And people can look at me and be like, who gives a fuck? It's literally recommending shows. You know the people that used ethics in gaming journalism as an excuse to shit on women for Gamergate? You remember that? I think the premise of, I don't know why I put that in the same platform as to what I'm about to say, but I feel like ethics in gaming journalism is something that I think is pretty cool, unrelated to Gamergate. Obviously, people use that as a Trojan horse to just shit on women. But I diagnosed myself as blind years ago, and no one believes me except the olive skins. What? What? I feel like ethics and journalism and critiques of movies, I feel like these are all very important things. And again, all of these pieces of art are subjective, but I feel like your job as a critic is to be able to parse what is a good job by modern conventions. Because you have these fuckers that are like, how can you judge any piece of art? It's so subjective. I can watch Dali's, what was Dali's horror video where he like slices open like an eye and shit like that? God, I hate that thing. I can watch that and I can consider it a fucking cinematic masterpiece. Wow. No. As a critic, you gotta look at conventions of what most people in society would agree makes and doesn't make a good movie. And you need to be informative of those parts while sprinkling in, like, personally, what do you think? And why do you think such a way? Like, you'd think that's such an obvious thing, but I really don't think so. And the person who I'd blame here is not the critic. I think there should be critics of all shapes and sizes. There should be critics whose entire purpose is to watch movies that have really cool triangles and triangular shapes to every single shot composition, and they should critique movies based on that. Okay, girls, come on. They should critique movies based on that, and it's up to the viewer to realize that they subscribe to triangle reviews and to know that that's not their guy, and they shouldn't listen to triangle reviews. I would blame the fucking viewer in this. I would blame the viewer in this. I'm making it sound like there's a problem, but there isn't. Is there a critique problem? Are people complaining that critics suck? People are always complaining about that, aren't they? Am I solving an issue yet? I am. I most certainly am. You guys are out of your mind. You guys are crazy. Listen, we got a blind person in the chat who's typing, alright? Actually, you might have a Braille keyboard. That might be dumb as fuck. I'm pretty sure there are accessibility options for... I'm pretty sure there are accessibility options for, there are accessibility options for people that are, like, deaf and blind and mute. So I don't know why I'm shitting on you, Makensha. You literally don't deserve this. And you should apply... Dude, I want to do this one. There's so many things I want to do when I get bigger. I want to have an end of the year best media consumed. What blind person is going to hop on an arch? I don't know. There's plenty of people that do it. I don't know if you... Never mind. Don't sling shit. Don't sling shit. I am petty. And there are artists, streamers who I've seen whose work I disliked, and up to this day, I fight a petty urge not to complain, even though they've done nothing wrong. Even though they've done nothing to deserve my dislike of them and their stuff. I want you to remember that I think it's okay for you to be a toxic person. You need to be aware of when you're a toxic person, and you need to keep that shit in check. Okay? That's what I think. The hot take, by the way. It's fine for you to think the most vile things about other people unnecessarily. You just need to realize when... why and how you should say it. I think there's been a you know what? Let's keep making up shit. Let's keep making up problems to fight about. I feel like there's been somewhat of a normalization of people choosing honesty as a reason to be assholes. When in truth, I think your tourist idea really captured a lot of problems with media. Yes, the tourist thing. I think so. Fighting with ghosts? Yeah, I fucking love fighting with ghosts. I think the tourism thing is exactly that. Like, you come in here, and you say all this stuff, but you're touring. Like, this isn't, like, where you don't understand. You don't fucking live here. And it's fine for a tourist to have, like, an idea, but nobody discloses, like, I'm not from here. I don't understand this space. And I'm giving... You know what? Oh, sure. Stop. Behave. Can you calm down, you fucking animal? When I'm talking about literature, which I think a number of you guys here in this chat do, I'm always going to give all the qualifiers in the world. I don't read books. I can't read. Well, I can read. This is so stupid. I refuse to read books because I'm a petty, stupid bitch. Not something to be proud of, by the way. I just think it's funny, but I'm not proud of that. I'll give all the disclaimers because I feel like it's your responsibility to disclose your tourist status when critiquing something. There's so much responsibility. I bet you people just want to watch it and not give a fuck. It must be kind of exhausting to have to give all disclaimers all the time. Destiny doesn't even fucking do it. And that guy, for the most part, knows what he's talking about. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I should be the bigger person and understand that these people have no fucking clue and just let them talk because their life would be better that way. But not really, because their bad opinions can have... Can I get an emote for being trapped in the prism of your own mind? You just fucking fight yourself, bro. You just... Have a take. Okay, I'm putting the timer down. And in 5 minutes I need to have a take and I can't walk it back. No other side. 5-minute timer. We're giving ourselves 5 minutes and we need to come to a conclusion. And there's no walking it back afterwards. We commit to it. And we can only change it after 2 weeks. After a week. Dude, you're already doing it. Fucking relax. Okay. 5 minutes. Should tourists... people that come in with no context, it must be so fucking weird. Should tourists have to give do they have any ethical do they have any responsibility to disclose their status as a tourist before critiquing something? Yes or no? What brings more happiness into the world and what makes the most people happy? Is it people who have no understanding of art, how it's done, movies, books, whatever, coming in and giving their opinions regardless of how fucking absolutely shit they might be? Should they have to explain every time? Take the 2 minutes before you... Take the singular minute for you to explain how little do you know before you just shit on someone's work. When you word it like that, surely it has to be that people should disclaim their status, their inability, their unequippedness, their uneducationness. Dude, you're really striking gold here, dude. All these words, there has to be a vocabulary that you come up with. I think they should. It takes the same amount of time to go your art sucks as it takes in a PhD art history to type your art's good. Except I have literally no reason to have an opinion besides expressing some ape-like chemical reaction that happens when I see... Yeah, you know, when you word it like that, it's due diligence. And boo-hoo, who cares if you have to do some of the... At least you're contributing to a more transparent world, which ultimately is better, no? I want to fight somebody on this. I want to fight the strongest person who thinks people have no responsibility to give any sort of introspective disclaimer. I want to fight somebody on this. I want to lose. I want to have these conversations. I bet these are so interesting to me, but if I reach out to the gnome and ask him to talk about this, he won't, because he just... Let's write these down. Next viewer call-ins, I'm doing this. And you have so much passion now. But when you do it on stream, you're gonna be like, I think, do people have a... No. You're a based... How many? You have 2 minutes left. Okay, so far, we're 80% in a train. I should cast votes. That's what I should do for my 7 viewers. Okay, so far, I'm 80% on a train. I agree with Chinese Agent. If you are a reader, if you are a watcher, you need to give a disclaimer that you are just simply touring this place before you tear down someone's art. That is true. That is based. Any disagreeers in the chat, make yourself known now. Are you fighting? Is this even like something people disagree? Yes, they are, because people do it all the time. Try to define tourist too. In mind, it's like tourist, an uninitiated layman that can absorb that... Oh, fuck! God, you're powerful! I like you, Chinese Agent. I'm Robin. I'm stealing. This is good. This is the best definition. I wish I had a smarter congenial? Jesus, think of the words you're saying. I wish I had a smarter twin that was attached to my body, who would see the shit that I spur out of my mouth, and they would sculpt it into something smart every time. And we would be unstoppable. We would take over the world. You're a tourist in my land, blah. And he's like, he means to say, there are people who are laymen's, and, you know, they should at least disclose their laymanness before they do this. Here's your gift. It's $2.99, by the way. Went AFK to get dinner. What are we fighting about? We're doing a thing. What we're talking about is, we have 30. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop the timer, and I'm gonna give myself 2 more minutes. Okay, we're gonna reset the timer for 2 more minutes, not 5, 2 minutes. What we're fighting about. Nice. You wrote that like a fucking stupefied animal. Here's what we're fighting about. Here's the condition that we're having. You know what? I'll never need to have a debate stream when I debate myself all the fucking time. This is great. I'm actually the perfect content creator. You guys should subscribe, by the way. And get your families to subscribe. The fight that we're having, that I'm having in myself, in my mind, with my own person, is this idea that if you are simply like a tourist, somebody who doesn't understand the media that you're critiquing, be it movies, be it digital art, be it 2D, 3D, whatever you are, if you're somebody who's a layman and just consuming, do you have a responsibility to disclose who you are and how much you know before you give your critique? Should you voice that out loud for the artist and the people around you to hear? Because realistically, this sounds like such a given, but hear me out. I'll fight the fight for the wrong fight, for the wrong side, because clearly one's right and the other one's wrong. Why the fuck do I have to not have fun for 5 minutes when all I want to do is just talk to my friend like a human being, and say this movie was shit because it was shit? Why can't I do that? Why do I have to fucking... What's the deal with that? Like, we're all human beings. Nobody, like, why do I have to be a fucking logic lord all the time and have to give disclaimers when I'm just talking to buds in an online chat room who I all know, like all 500 of them? Man, I'm making this sound really bad. I really wonder if there's somebody who can debate the other side. Because all I can think about for the other side is literally like... Bro, what the fuck are you, a nerd? Nobody wants to do this. That's the best argument I can come up with. But the more I think about it, and the more people validate my opinions in this chat, the more I think that I am objectively correct about this, if there is such a thing. Oh, there we go. That was the timer, folks. Hope you guys come to your conclusions. I decided that I'm in the side of you have to give a disclaimer. That's me. Years ago, I used to think that the leveling nature of the internet... Wait. I used to think the leveling nature of the internet that made everyone's opinions roughly equal due to anonymity was really cool. But I think we're starting to see horrible shit happens precisely because of that. The problem is that I can't speak to real-world events. I can only speak to someone made art and their feelings got hurt. Which to the average person is like, what the fuck? But to me, it means like a lot, right? I usually just assume people are consumers. I think so too. Which is kind of shitty when you talk to somebody and you just assume that, and then you explain something to them, and then they're like, what are you, mansplaining? I know this. And I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what to tell them. A lot of times when I explain things, people assume that I do mansplaining or some kind of sexism. When I just assume... That must be such a cope that people hear all the time too. I'm not mansplaining, I just assume everybody's an idiot. Wow. Never mind. I don't want to talk about this. Never mind. Dude, how does that sound? I'm sure you're always thinking about I'm sure you're always good about not hurting. Dude, in my mind, I'm speaking all of this, and I'm making it sound like I care so much for the feelings of other artists. I take that. But I want you to understand, and I'm always going to be honest about this. In my mind, I am the cruelest motherfucker in the world. I'm thinking, why the fuck did you do that? Why didn't you make that better? You're not practicing anatomy. You're lazy. You're this. You're that. I have a scene from Hercules that I want you to look at later and tell me whether the scriptwriter fucked them up or just gave up. Yeah, sure. Mind you, if it comes to Disney movies that I like, I'm going to be super charitable, and I love Hercules. So chances are, I want you to remember, because again, if you're going to be impartial, you should at least be honest. And you can fight with me about this. You totally can. I more than welcome people telling me that I'm wrong about this. If you want to go through the scene and tell me why you think it's incompetence or something like that, go nuts. Okay, but when do you stop just being a consumer? How many hours of your favorite YouTuber do you... That's a... Oh, fuck. That's a good question, too, because I give so many takes on game design that I think are genius, because I watch people who are much smarter than me talk about this, but I've never fucking designed a game. Bro. Oh, God. Stop. You're contributing to... We need to come to a term. I'm sure it already exists. What's a terminology that I can use for I'm fighting with myself all the time and I can't stop both siding? I need to punish people that contribute to my... I want to say nega self, but that's a problem, isn't it? It's because of Scott Pilgrim and video games. That's not a good look, bro. What's a term that I can use other than... Just because it sounds like a slur. What's another one? What can I use? You guys need to come up with something here. Your mind is so similar to mind? Do you mean mine? It's hilarious? Maybe. Maybe I'm not the only person who's been fucking cursed with constantly doubting themselves because they want to be fair. I am such a vitriolic, hateful person, but I try my best to be good, or what I think is good. And it causes problems. But also, if you can get yourself out of your mind, it's hilarious. Did I mention to you guys that idea of, like, the guy who's, like, a guy who really fucking wants to be used and abused by women, and, like, he's, like, into getting, like, beaten, and, like, he's, like, wanting to get stepped on, but he's so nice, and he's so caring and sweet. So every time he's like, yeah, treat me like a fucking whore. Like, the girl's like, yeah, we all know. Okay, I'm not talking about it for me. I just think it's a funny idea. Okay, fuck you guys. You know what? I don't... Shut the fuck up. It's not, bro. This is not... I mean, it is about me, but I'm not... But never mind. Bro, I'm just saying, it's funny to put yourself out of that position. If you're having someone say... Wait, if you're having someone say after saying read my lips, you should probably make sure that a person you would... Okay, Wolfgang, stop. Breathe. Read. If you're having someone say something after saying read my lips, you should probably make sure a person would actually move their lips in their mouth to pronounce those syllables. I'm going to watch the video you linked me. I relate to wanting to be fair, not the stuff... Okay, yeah, probably not. I mean, I'm not gonna assume, but you're telling me, so I believe you, okay? Here we go.
What is the weak link?
Oh, God. You linked me a fucking Hades scene? I'm just letting you know I'm gonna try my best to be impartial. I'm not gonna be able to. The acting... nice voice crack, dumb fuck. The acting... The acting for Hades is phenomenal, so much so that I'm probably going to overlook a lot of script flaws that may happen with the movie because the acting is... Dude, the acting is so fucking phenomenal. I just want to give you that disclaimer, okay? Here, let's switch to this view. Here we go. Okay.
In Wonder Boy?
Get yourself another girl, I'm through.
I'm sorry, you mind running that by me again? I must have a chunk of brimstone wedged in my ear or something.
Then read my lips.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, hold on. So that's what you're... Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. Megara. Fuck, Megara. If you're having someone say, after saying read my lips, you should probably make sure that a person actually move their lips. So you're saying that the lip syncing is off. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Forget it.
Meg.
Okay. This person is moving their lips. I understand what you're saying. Because they could have made it more clear. But I think I can do the same for this lip sync. I think I can do the same mouth movements. Say that out loud and tell me where your lips... Well, we can go frame by frame. We can scrub. Here we go. Okay, so just letting everybody know. I'm not trying to be condescending or sarcastic when I say this. But if you go on... when you're playing a YouTube video, if you pause and use the arrow keys, not the ones on your actual, like... Not the ones next to your shift and your numpad. the ones next to shift between the letters M and a question mark. If you use those, you can scrub through a YouTube video frame by frame, right? So we can scrub to figure this out. Here we go. Hold on.
Had a chunk of brimstone wedged in my ear or
Then
something.
read my lips.
Read my lips. Here we go. We're gonna go frame by frame. She's winding up the 4 right there, right? 4, right? We got top lip open, teeth showing. 4, and here, mouth a little bit down, top lip, bottom lip. 4. Oh, she's winding up again. Hold on a second. You might be right. Hold on. 4, 4. Right there, you got the 4. Right? We're going back. 4. Right here, we got a keyframe. Or. Get. Oh, but the get is really small. So I get it. The gap on her saying forget is really small, but it is right there, right? Like, again, I'm going to be super charitable towards this movie. So I want you to be ready for me to not validate your feelings. Not because I just want to admit the impartiality that I have here. Not that you're wrong. I just adore this movie, so I'm going to be super impartial. I just want you to know that. Okay, so we got the 4, and then she closes her teeth. Get. But that gap on the teeth is really small. Forget it. The it she's doing with her mouth closed, with the teeth exposed. I'm confused the scriptwriter intentionally tried to fuck over the animators on this scene. Okay, so again, I agree the lip sync is good, looks good. Hold on. No, it's fine for people to have differentiated fight. Yes, I want you to fight. Stop trying to be amicable, Wolfgang. Let people fight. I can if I'm being charitable, I can completely understand looking at this scene and wanting it to be even more clear with the lip sync. Now, this is coming from somebody who's being charitable. I can imagine them wanting to do forget it, showing your teeth, like showing your teeth because she's fucking angry. Forget it. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And you're showing like teeth. No, he didn't. He like opened his mouth, right? But I'm just thinking like, how often do you want to like grit your teeth because you're angry, right? This is such a weird pull. This is sorry. I don't know why I brought that up. But yeah, you probably want to keep those teeth like that. But again, that's me being charitable. If I want to be uncharitable, I'll go with you. Like I'm trying to be uncharitable as I can to Hercules, right? Even though I love this movie. I'm going to do that. Why would they, on a movie where you have character designs that are somewhat simplistic, why in the fucking world would you choose to make this creative choice to have her grit her teeth if it's not going to be as readable as her saying, forget it, with a flick of the tongue, it, and then closing her mouth again. Even some move on the head, forget it. It, right? My tongue is the fucking dumbass. Stop embarrassing yourself. Tip of my tongue is going to be touching it, right? So it could be a couple of reasons. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever know. Charitable take that I will always have towards Hercules is that they wanted to prioritize this facial forget it, right? They don't voice the film before or during animation. I'm going to be honest with you. I should have the answer to that. From what I understand, it depends on the production. And even some scenes sometimes. From what I understand, there are some movies, and I want to say this about Aladdin, but I could be wrong, where certain readings of the script were done pre-animation, and they enjoyed it so much that they, in fact, you should be doubly sure before you make false claims. I'm going to disclaim this and say take it with a grain of salt, but from what I remember them being so impressed and so in love with Robin Williams that they got him to do a lot of the voicing before the animation got done for the genie, and then they animated to Robin Williams' voice. But, I don't know, sometimes it flip-flops. Unless I read your message wrong. Don't they voice the film before or during animation? And they base their animation on the VAs. It depends on the production. But most of the times I do feel like they voice before animation. But yeah, Makensha, that would be my take. That would be my take, and I don't know how correct that is. But again, I'll say it 1,000 times, even if it makes your ears bleed. I love this movie, and I'm going to be super charitable towards it. So that's my take. I don't think the scriptwriters, like, were super fucky with that. I think, if anything, my take would be that the animators are trying to add expression to this. The animators are trying to infuse this with character, and part of that would be the gritting of the teeth, right? And I would say this: if I wanted to, if that was their intention, if you countered, if you forget it, okay, if you wanted to counter what I'm saying, and if you asked me something like, then why didn't they show her gums? Because the gums, I've been wanting to show someone that scene who gives a damn for years now, and I remember you're literally an anime. Well, not professional yet, though. I agree. They added expression. However, why aren't they showing their gums? And you could say, because of the character design. It would take away from Megra's character design if they showed the gums. It would be unattractive, and plus, it would just make the wonderful design of the mouth, because again, so many of the choices of line work in Hercules, of character designs, are influenced from... God, be careful, because you don't actually know anything about this. From what I assume is like Greek aesthetic, like the way that they did illustrations and paintings in Greek times. I don't know, Greek times, okay, whatever that is. But the way that's been portrayed, there's a lot of things that are going to be influenced from that. So it might be, and let me open a new tab here. Nice Farron drawing, buddy. If you like my art, just follow my Twitter and the thing. But it could be that the mouth is very, very purposely made in this way, right? And this, again, you could tell me that I'm huffing copium, and it would be equally the Greek times, right? No, fuck. It ain't Roman, I can tell you that. Dude, you're so retarded. I love being stupid. It's too much fun. It could be that if they added, it's even more exaggerated than I got right here. It's even more. Here, pull that bitch up. There you go. You could say, like, okay, but if they wanted to show expression, why wouldn't they show the gums? The gums is such a good way of showing that, like, gritness of the teeth. But it could be that now you have this weird shape here for the teeth of the gums. It could be. And it could take away from the... It could take away from the design to have... Just fucking draw on top of it, dumbass. Why you... Just take this, copy and paste. Why are you thinking like a fucking plebeian? Because that's definitely like a word. It could be that if you went ahead and you added like gums to this, keep same tone, right? Except she's got a little bit of a... Oh, maybe that would work. But then you have like this 2 sharp bumps here, which I don't think would be super attractive for the design. Right? And like, where else in Hercules do they have like gums? Like, look at that. Is that like attractive? Is that like good? Is that like a good design choice? I want to say that it would not go with most of it, but you could, right? Gums create this weird ass shape. I don't think it's just not part of the design philosophy. I agree with that statement, right? But I'm trying to look at this in an uncharitable way, which is just kind of shitty to say. But yeah, I'm just trying to think on the opposite side. Calling the opposition uncharitable is kind of already setting up, I don't know what you call it, like a... It shows how much I'm impartial, how partial I am towards this movie. But yeah, no. If you have more of these scenes, fucking show it to me, because I love going through them. And it's also, I want you to remember that I'm not working in a studio, and it would be kind of fucking wild for me to come out and start like critiquing what I think is poor animation, but I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. But it is very rich. You need to have a lot of balls on you, not because you're a Giga Chad, but because you think you know more than professional animators that worked at fucking Disney. No matter what you think about Disney, it doesn't matter. You can always tell somebody who is unwilling to part their opinions when it comes to being critical if they start shitting on Disney movies for looking bad or for not being good. You can tell. If somebody says that, you know that motherfucker is not being like... There's certain things you have to admit. If you want to critique a Disney movie for not being very complex or for having simple stories or simple messages or simple story structures, go ahead. That's a fair complaint. But if somebody says a Disney movie ever looks bad, like genuinely, not like I dislike the look of that movie, but they look bad, come on, you gotta be kidding me. You're out of your fucking mind. Even fucking, I watched it with the producer, and we both hated the designs of Elemental. And mind you, I can't keep track of if it's Pixar or Disney who worked on Elemental, so forgive me when I say this. But it's just an example. we both hated the designs on Elemental, but we would be fucking, I think only Hades yeah, it could be that's the case, right? And it could be 100 reasons why they wouldn't do that on Meg's design specifically. But if you have somebody, I'm actually trying to think of when they show gums on a character, and I could be wrong. Yeah, again, like, it definitely, like, depends on what their design is informed by. I do not remember the animation on Hercules, except the really good parts, like Meg swinging it. Okay, stop. You're remembering that for a reason. There's the fucking Hydra scene, like the Hydra fighting scene. There you go. That's a much better one to admit. That you remember, you fucking little perv. Fuck! What the? What is happening? Who put this? Oh. Okay. All right. There you go. That's okay. Jesus Christ, man, chill. Your fucking mindset is infecting other shit. But if you guys have any other pieces of animation to like talk about, I would love to speculate on why they are the way that they are. I can't sit here and presume to know, because with productions it's just so wild. It's just so insane. It feels like a cop-out to say, like, oh, with large productions it's just fucking hard to know. Can I not send links? You should be able to, and if it doesn't work there, you can send it on a React on a Discord. If it feels like a cop-out, I genuinely apologize if it feels like a lot of the times my answers feel like a cop-out or like a wishy-washy answer. But the reality is, when it comes to these productions, it's hard to know. The best I can do is guess, and I feel like it's my due diligence to really emphasize how much guesswork I'm doing here. Because by the same metric that it could be incompetence, it could not be incompetence, and I wouldn't take away from either or. If there was a piece of incompetent decision-making on movie-making, I don't want to cop anybody out. Like, I don't want to save anybody from criticism that's well-deserved. However, if there was an actual justifiable reason to make a decision, I wouldn't want somebody unfairly shitting without understanding that decision. If you want to say, for example, like, oh, Meg's design in the Hercules movie could have emphasized more the mouth opening with the gums, right? If you want to say that, that's a fair piece of criticism. Now, there's 100 reasons why I could counter that maybe not being, like, the best in the world, but that's something that you can make, right? The one thing that I will be anal about is if somebody just shits on something without having any idea of what could be, like, improved or what they would do. And if that's the case, if you don't have anything, you should be honest about that. Fuck, what are the 3 rules in Kyla's server? I wish I could apply that to life. You cannot be dumb, smug, and wrong. Cannot be those 3 things at the same time. Maybe 2 we can put up with. Not saying that you were any of those, Makensha. I'm just thinking of, like, the way that people approach, like, critiquing and stuff like that. Fuck, I love talking about this. I really like talking about this. Did you post a link on a poop magoop? Stop talking about poop. React. Oh yeah, there you go. There's gums right there on that one. That's hell of expressive. Ah. Dumb and wrong and mean, I think. Yeah, you can't beat those 3. You cannot beat those 3. But it's really fucking cool. God, if you care about animation, I need you to watch Farron. I will not stop simping for this fucking show because it's unbelievably fucking good. Be me, dumb, smug, and wrong. Give unwanted criticism. The average tourist. Man, now you guys want to make me come up with terminology. I should have a call-in with Destiny to figure out the responsibility. That seems like such a boring talk to have, but I feel like it's good. I feel like it's good. I should do that. It should be me. I should be the one to do it. Especially because if there's anybody that would kind of have an idea about that, it would be Destiny, because he works with music. He probably has a lot of, I don't know what you call it, shitty takes as a... Look at those leg pieces, man. They're coming out nice, but they need to look more like steel. Reflective surfaces. Fuck, now I want to just go over animation again. Nah, my ex can be dumb, smug, and wrong. True. Wait, I don't know your ex, but probably. I'm taking your word here for it. What a disclaimer to give. Watch Farron if you care about animation. Destiny is a free Christmas party. Dude, that is so fucking funny. How fucking funny it is that you spend so long talking about how to cook chicken the correct way, and when you do it on stream, you fuck it up, dude. how fucking funny is that you're gonna sit here, and I think it's part of the appeal. The same way that I think Darius, and I think it's obvious, but I couldn't tell for the longest time, but now, I think whenever Darius IRL plays a video game and talks about being like, God, I'll beat this video game. Dude, video games are so easy. I think it's all like a character, because when he eats shit, it's so much better for it. When he was playing Sekiro, that shit was fucking hilarious. He was talking so great about beating Sekiro, and then he started dying at it. Just bad decision making. And then he was like, yeah, I'm actually a god at this game. It was funny. And I think like Destiny's the same fucking thing. That fucking chicken was still alive? Wait. What's this chicken lore? I wish I could find you a video. Destiny was talking about how easy is it to cook a regular chicken. I could be wrong. He was talking about how easy is it to cook a chicken. Like chicken breast. It's probably like the easiest thing to cook and not fuck it up. And then he cooked it and he fucked it up. When he was getting ass blasted by the sewer ninja for the what? Oh, Darius! I thought you were talking about the sewer ninja fucking made fun of his cooking skills and Destiny went, I was like, what the fuck? But no, you're talking about, yeah. Easy boss? I'll be more scared if it's not a character. But if it's a character, it's funny as fuck, dude. And the problems that I felt for it, I feel like Darius is Cersei Lannister. I feel like the problem is that you think, like, here's the level 1 take for you. Here's the level 1 take when it comes to antagonists. Oh, that character's so bad, I hate him. You think you hate him, right? But you're sitting there watching every day, and you hate him because they make the antagonist or the villain makes horrible decisions that affect your character that you like. That's a good villain right there. If you fucking hate their guts by the end of the fucking show, that's probably the mission. If you want them to be sympathetic, obviously it depends. But most of the times, and I feel like Darius is a character 90% of the time. I think it's actually 70% of the time. Maybe 60. The stuff with Grace put a big crack in his armor for me. I feel like by the same token that he does make a lot of decisions and people think that he's fucking stupid, I feel like he makes stupid decisions and then he covers by saying that he knows what he's doing and it's all for content and it's like a character. The problem is parsing between which one is what. But God bless him for having Irrelevant in his life. God, I wish I was going to TwitchCon. They're all going to be staying with Kyla, and Kyla was wanting me to go, but I just can't. I'm not in a position to financially make that decision right now. There are things I need to prioritize way more before going to TwitchCon. That would be very unbelievably irresponsible of me. But man, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fucking fun. But yeah, I don't think he's entirely like a character. God, man, I'm so glad that you give me a Hercules clip to react to. God damn, that movie is good. We need to rewatch. Watch Freyren. I don't care who you are. Watch Freyren. Unless you don't like a fantasy setting. Which was a big discussion topic, apparently. That was a big fight that we were having. Darius doesn't like fantasy settings, and Xena was fighting with him about it. And it was pretty funny. Is there gums in Tarzan? Fuck yeah, there's gums. I fucking remember that. Clayton's got gums. What else? Tarzan's got gums too. There's hella gums in Tarzan. The fucking apes? Oh my god, they hella got gums. They got gums for days, brother. Yeah, I thought so. And a lot of times too, even if a design doesn't have gums, if it comes to like really expressing a certain emotion, I'm sure animators are gonna be more than willing to break the rules to like add, enhance, to take away, to destroy, to not destroy. Cause, yeah, but it depends. A lot of times they break like rules like fucking cray, bro. Man, that was good. I like that. Clayton is a bad guy though, and I would expect apes to have gums. Yeah, true. I think Tarzan shows his gums a lot too, because Tarzan has some scenes where he's like really fucking showing his fucking teeth when he's like climbing and shit. I remember those. That's lame. Why doesn't he like fantasy? He gave every fucking reason in the world. He gave the fact that, which I completely disagree with. He says that he likes modern day, and he says that it's lazy for you to put a story. I think it was the dumbest fucking explanation, but he's entitled to his own opinions. But he said that it's lazy for you to create a world instead of just putting a story in the real fucking world. And I didn't understand why. And I kept telling him, it's a setting. It's not indicative of the story. It's just the setting. It's just the setting. What else did he say? Fuck, he was just saying some really dumb shit about his opinion that only certain things, that only certain stories take advantage of. It's funny because on the same breath, he was playing Final Fantasy 16, which has some crazy kaiju fights, like massive character fights with like, what's the name of the fucking band for the guy that composes a lot of the music in Final Fantasy? Is it like the Black Mages? There's like rock and roll music while kaijus are punching each other. Not true. Creating shit is hard. I think so too. I think going with a fantasy setting is way more creatively risky and difficult. Hi, Wolfgang and Co. Hello. I think making fantasy settings is way more of a creative choice. Now, you can borrow a lot from other creative fantasy settings, but I feel like if you're going to just be giving a one-dimensional take, and I want to emphasize this, if you're only going to be giving a one-dimensional take, making any sort of fiction story on a modern-day setting is way easier, way safer, and it's just not creatively there. Mind you, it's going to depend on the story, right? You have to create a completely different world, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, and Darius was conflating like historical fiction with the fantasy setting. He's like, oh, there's lords and kingdoms, and there's this, and the realms are boring, and it's like, it depends on a fucking story. You can have a fantasy setting where there are no fucking kings, right? You can have a fantasy setting for like 100 different fucking ways. But it's people conflating... Again, it's the tourist thing. Tourist doesn't understand... Oh god, I sound so pretentious. Tourists are gonna go to that, and they're not gonna understand that, like, just because you have a setting, it doesn't mean that you're bound by, like, rules of convention. You can have your fantasy story be 100 different fucking... 10,000 different ways. 50,000 different ways. Why am I... 50,000 different ways? Yeah. And then the motherfucker had the gall to talk about how Final Fantasy VII was modern day. Please no terrorist talks? What do you mean? But yeah, no, it's just... Oh, is it because I'm talking about Final Fantasy? They're eco-terroristic. Oh, they're cool. Look at that, bro. It's coming together. Oh, tourist? Oh, yeah, tourist. It's a term that apparently I said, and Chinese agent were like, that was a good term. And I was like, fuck. That was a good term. And I should use it more often. Final Fantasy is fantasy, bro. What the fuck? It is fantasy. The only problem is that I think he likes, like, modern fantasy, right? Fantasy, and I wish I could talk to him about that, but I don't think Darius is going to want to talk about that, out of all things. I think there's so much... He called me a cool guy on stream, though, so never mind. Darius is cool. Bro. But yeah, okay, so... And again, I just want to arrive at this point, and I want to let you know that we, as a community, have decided, we have made a decision, and I think like everybody who's watching the stream probably has some artistic flair in some way, creative flair, so you're probably all going to agree. This music is very distracting from your voice. It's the pimps. Is it because it's too loud? Put on a new Jabes. This will be nice. We, as a stream, have decided, collectively, that, because we had a vote. We had a vote, and it was timed. And for those of you who weren't here, you missed it. But my Final Fantasy alarm went off. Yeah, we're talking about Final Fantasy. So we made a decision that if you are somebody who's not familiar with a certain piece of media or subject, it is your ethical duty to disclose the fact that you don't know that much. Because in real life, even though people go to each other and they're regular people who don't make anything, that sounds so condescending. That sounds so aggressive. But I'll do it anyways. The average person that doesn't do any... Oh, God, man, that just sounds... I hear myself talking. I'm like, please don't say these things. The average person that doesn't create art or who doesn't make anything like that, they will want to talk to their friends and they'll be like, that movie sucks shit. And that's it. And you don't understand the choices that went into making that movie. You should have to disclose in a public chat room with thousands of people that you aren't somebody who does this stuff, and you're critiquing it from a sense of like a tourist, and not necessarily somebody who's familiar with the subject. It shouldn't be on the person who created the art to be the bigger person and just listen to that and just assume, oh, these are just regular people having a regular talk. Who cares? That's stupid. You're being a baby. Somebody turn on the baby alarm. Why don't I have a soundboard? Oh, soundboards are kind of cheap, huh? I like soundboards, but they need to be smart. And I feel like everybody with a soundboard gets so rich. They get so intoxicated with power. If you ever hear me unironically say, "Is shit, ban me," it's fun though, isn't it? Isn't it fun? You as an artist should know that other people don't know jack. Ooh, there it is. Remember when we were talking? Remember when we were talking about the opposition? We found it. There was nobody to talk before, but little Claire has stepped up and picked up the banner, and she will fight now. Engram, bro, I have friends like this. It gives me cancer. Wait. The worst. I live to oppose you. The worst shit eating. What? The worst shit eating person to talk in media is the writer that never fucking writes anything. Producer. It happens more often than you think. What was the last thing that we were? Oh, we were talking about critics. Yeah, I already talked about critics. Like the perfect relationship is you as somebody who knows your taste already. You should be able to pick out your guy who has your similar taste. Engram is right. Man. The problem is smugness. What did you eat today? I ate 2 bagels with eggs and a little bit of beef. Kind of, I don't know what you call it, shrimp beef? Like I know the word in the language of which I come from, but I don't know in English. It's when you take like a knife and shredded beef. Yeah. And then I'll eat more after stream because I haven't had lunch. Buttercup is trying to clone you? It's impossible. Honestly, I don't think it's possible for you to clone me because I already have a clone inside of me. That was all natural. Guys, if you... Oh shit, sounds delicious. I told you to get lunch. I started streaming. I'll eat after the stream. She is very protective, as you can see. But yeah, that was my breakfast, and it was really good too. You're retarded, bro. True. But wait, what was I saying? Yeah, if you well, I guess we found the opposition. But yeah, what I was talking, we just loop. That's all we do. We just loop here. And then we critique some Hercules art designs, some choices, some scenes. That was pretty fun too. Fuck, it makes me want to talk about animation more. The problem is that I don't have all these clips readily available, and all the stuff that I'm going to share. When's the tourist debate? We found one person who disagrees. It's kind of already solved. We made a decision. Okay, how did you find that funny? What do you mean? I don't know. Why do you find it funny when people tickle your armpits? I don't know what I just found stuff funny. I'll debate you. We already decided. You were late. The clock. It was doing the thing. Who's to say? who's to say? No, we can debate. Let me see. What was I gonna say? The world revolves around me? You're like the Bakano guy. The rail tracer. When I die, all of you disappear. So how am I not God? And all the people in the chat that know philosophy, Israel art versus Palestine art, Israeli art is quite honestly something to behold. I think I like it better. Is it really the time for you to be saying things like this? Yeah, no, it comes. I'm not making. Fuck you. Sleepy Joe or Trump? Joe. Are you kidding me? Easy. I'm not gonna lie. There are things I want to say, but I don't know if they're insensitive. I genuinely don't know if they're insensitive. Okay, so there's certain things I'm not gonna say because I genuinely am not in a position to know if they're insensitive or not. So we're just not. But there's. I want to say things. You know what? If you follow me on Discord, I'll say them. I'll fucking say them. Follow the Discord. You guys don't have a new link because I didn't fix the link. Follow the Discord. Invite people. Follow the Discord. Freedom of speech. Everyone has the freedom. Yeah, everyone has the freedom to be put in the fucking guillotine. That's not even true. He says it all in Discord. He says it all in Discord, brother. He's out here just saying shit on Discord. Yeah, I wish I had clips. Wait, hold on. Stop. Don't run away. Okay, so genuinely, the argument was that is it before they in-depth critique something, and when they talk about like a movie, that they just, especially like in the context of like a chat room, a stream, that they simply just politely just mention the fact that they don't fucking, that they aren't a movie maker. So when they're discussing like Destiny, for example, when he was saying that Dunes is all fucking sand shots over and over, right? Is it too much to ask that there's a simple disclosure of, I don't do this stuff, so take my opinion with a grain of salt? Is that too much to ask? And the consensus that the stream came to, with the sample size that we had, is that it's not too much to ask. If you're going to be shitting on someone's stuff, the least you can do is say how much you fucking know about this, right? Or how much you care, or how involved are you, is to give that disclaimer. Because if you're already gonna go through the trouble of writing something, what's the point? Why would you go to the subject over and over again? We talked about Destiny the other day. What do you think? I don't know. Why do I talk about art every day, right? It's what I got in front of me. And I love it. I can't get enough of it. I don't know. It's just what's in my proximity. But it's the guy that I go to. The Brain Trust has determined that the tourists should shut the fuck up. Do you know what the Slow Blade... Dude, we were talking about that. Chinese agent is a fan of the Slow Blade. And that's me kind of throw him in the fire, but I don't know much about Dune. Oh my god, look at that. I just disclosed that I don't know much about the subject. And I was still able to make my joke. That took 2 seconds. Look at that. So maybe the scene's actually really smart. Who knows? And maybe they've done it really well. I don't know that. To me, I thought it was kind of silly. But what the fuck do I know? Look at that! I got to say what I... Hello? Wow, you're so cool, Wolfgang. You want to cook? Yeah, kind of, actually. I kind of do. There was these cookies at Tim Hortons. They were... Honestly, didn't expect it. Should all animals be... Wait, what? Should all animals be in cages? Wait, should all animals be in cages and be used as income? Like you exchange animals? That would be insanely inconvenient, no? What about the resources that goes into keeping your income alive? Meaning the zoo? Oh! Dude, I don't know. Probably for conservation purposes? Maybe? Dude, I never thought about the ethics of the zoo. I think conservations are probably cool. Like, Wolf, has Ollie do the voice? Yeah, true, actually. Yeah, I do. I have Ollie voice all the fucking sounds that I make. It's not really me. I haven't really thought about the ethics of the zoo. Probably not the best. I mean, if these animals weren't going to survive, or if they came in bad conditions, right? Like the tigers from fucking Tiger King who were in the Tiger King den. Baby girl, I can be the Slow Blade. Yeah, hell yeah. Those guys probably could go to the zoo because they'll probably be treated better. And as much as they are entertainment, they also provide some kind of... I mean, I don't know. I guess a zoo doesn't have to be educational. They can be entertainment, but I mean, you're providing kind of like a benefit if you do make your zoo educational, and if you do focus on a mission of like learning, it could probably be very... What about an aquarium? Is an aquarium? No, because fish don't have souls, and they look fucking freaky. Yeah! Yeah! There you go. Fish don't have souls, and they look fucking freaky. I don't care if you got one as a pet. It's very debatable. I'm about to debate my way. I'm sorry, never mind. I was about to make your mom joke. Base fish hater. I'm sorry, I have little empathy for fish. And I understand if you, I'm going to be honest with you, I understand if you are a person who can empathize quite a bit, and I doubt you could literally empathize with a fish. But if you just don't like the idea of a living thing that swims and doesn't have much perception of it being put in a fucking glass thing and swimming, you're much more empathetic than me, and good for you, genuinely. It sounds condescending, but I mean that. Probably takes more work for you to be empathetic than it does for me to simply just hate on fish, which I don't understand and will never understand. But you know, but you have the mental capacity of a fish, though. Actually, a really fucking cool fish. Okay. I have the mental capacity of the carp that swims up. Fuck, how does that go again? Magikarp goes up the stream, and he turns into a Gyarados when he gets to the top. That's why Nichijou, Nishiki in Yakuza, I'ma go with a hamburger to a vegan restaurant. Wait, what? I'ma go with a hamburger to a vegan restaurant and eat there. Wolffish confirmed. Okay, hold on. There's rules of decency. Wait. Oh, those, I'm sorry, your names are the same color. It's just that's just needlessly spiteful. Yeah, exactly. There's decency. Come on. There's no reason why. And I understand the perspective of the vegan, right? Like, you are literally enslaving living things and eating it. And if it comes to fighting that, I'll be the bad person, you know? I'll be the evil that I need to be if it comes to protesting the enslavement of my living brethren. I'm sorry, I abide by these rules of decency. I'm sorry, that's how most people abide by these rules of decency. And I understand that vegans are trying to fight a battle where I understand the vegan battleground. I understand it. You're a freedom fighter. You're trying to make these things because if you believe those are living things, you probably want to, I don't know, shake shit up, but I'm sorry. We're not there yet. And you know what? When maybe humans get factory farmed, I'll probably be a lot more amicable. I'll probably be a lot more considerate, but we're not there yet. And if you want to say that I'm a coward for being a victim of my time, then fuck it. I'm not Big Boss. I'm not going to fight the times. I'm not Big Boss. Big Boss is fucking awesome. No, he's not. Stop. He's a war criminal. Stop. You shouldn't be saying these things. I don't agree with Big Boss. I agree with Solid Snake. But all that I'm saying is that I'm not a protagonist from a Metal Gear game. I'm not going to be fighting the times I live in them. I abide by them. That's not true. You fight some things. Unions are pretty pog. But people accept unions. Buttercup, you're making me fight myself. No more from you, okay? You're grounded. I'm not going to ban you. I'm not going to time you out. But I just want you to know that I'm considering you as grounded in my mind, okay? You're grounded. You spoke too much. Like Lisa Simpson. You are in trouble for speaking your mind, and I will not have that. We don't understand it, and we don't care to understand it where I come from, so we're putting you in the corner, okay? Yeah, I know you. I am sensitive. I am sensitive. I'm a sensitive boy. And if people are gonna hate me for that, then god damn it. I'll be your fucking cannonball. What? I'll be your target practice. There you go. God, Dart Sim was such a fun game to play. It must be annoying, right? I was thinking about this. On Destiny's Art Discord, people were calling me like fat. They're like, hey, fatty. Should you be making fun of Xena when you're fat and when you make bad life choices? And I was just going along with it. And I feel like that must be upsetting when you're trying to make fun of somebody, but all they do is just go along with it. They're like, are you ashamed of being fat? And I was like, yeah, honestly. They're like, well, then why don't you change, you lazy man? And I'm like, honestly, it's penance at this point for choosing the art profession. And like, you know, pretending like you're not upset by something demonstrates how frustrated you are. I'm like, but I'm not pretending I am. That has to be kind of annoying. I am lazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I am lazy. Giga chat. It must be kind of, but at the same time, really, my profession sitting at a computer, kind of, yeah, true. You should, ideally, you should probably do something about that. But, and I don't mean get a different job before somebody thinks that I'm saying that. I'm fighting phantoms. God, this is looking good, bro. But what was I saying? What was I saying before this? God, you speak to yourself so much. You really don't need an audience. What was I saying? Yeah, they were saying that, and it has to be kind of frustrating at a certain point. If you just want to make fun of somebody, but they're too, like, I don't know, you call it shameless? I do have shame. It's just, I don't think I'm going to take the criticism of people that are, like, anonymously behind, like, because I had my camera on for the Xena thing. Like, I put it on. I don't care. If people want to judge me, go ahead. But I think it's going to be hard to get judged by somebody, and the person had it. It was a picture of their profile picture was just Shinji Ikari. I don't think I'm going to be taking judgment from somebody whose profile picture, whose skin in a game is Shinji Ikari. Number one, I'm judging you based on the character for starters, and second of all, why am I going to listen to you? You could be anything. You could be a 600-pound dude. Who knows? Not me, certainly. God, this is good music. I hope it's not getting in the way of my voice. Anime avatar opinion discarded. I think it's easier if they're an anime avatar. Although I do appreciate the idea of anonymity on the internet, but it's like I judge you on your character. Yeah, actually, true, ironically. But I do think Chinese agents thing is true. I do think that no, you're already loud with your with the music. Oh boy. You're a needler is what you are, Buttercup. There was one comment that got to me. And it wasn't from anybody in here. It was in a Destiny YouTube video comment section. They said that I was the scared kid from Magical School Bus. That actually, I don't know why it stung. I haven't seen the Magical School Bus, but I know there's a kid that takes off his helmet while he's in space. I don't know why that bothered with me. I don't know why that bothered me. Out of all the things that cut into my, that one stuck. That one, I was like, oh fuck, I don't get it. I wish I could tell you why that bothered, but it set with me so much that I'm bringing it up right now. That I want you to think of that. That comment, I'm like, it has been like maybe like a month, and it sat in my mind. It's not Carlos, because my producer was talking to me about the Magical School Bus characters. His name ain't Frederick, I can tell you that. But man, yeah, it stuck with me. I don't know why. Why would you? I'm not. Listen. If I went to space, I would not take off my helmet. Mind you, the producer gave me some context that I didn't know. He took off his helmet because his little sister also took off the helmet, and he did it in solidarity. So that makes him more noble than anything. But still stupid. And I don't think I would do something like that. Imagine me, like, it is kind of funny. Imagine me kind of like getting emotional and crying, be like, I wouldn't take my helmet off in space. I'm fucking stupid. Many Shut up! Many sleepless nights were lost on his likening to a fictional character on a child's television show. Only time would tell if Wolfgang would ever recover from mental damage. Dude, it was definitely like critical damage from like a mental strike. I was not expecting to get attacked like that. What if I was Bali? What if you were Bali? That'd be pretty fucking cool. What if it was Bali that took off his helmet and I did it in solidarity? I would be disappointed in Oliver Squalliver if he was in fucking space and he took off his helmet. I think I probably think there'd be some chastising before there was solidarity. Okay? Mind you, he's not potty trained. Bro had Phantasmal Killer cast on him through the computer. He wanted military. In space, there's a time and a place. Come on, bro. No. I hold him to higher regards. My bird. Nice voice crack, bro. What are you, 26? Oh my god, I got my age right. That's pretty cool. But yeah, no, what is it? The art community on what were today's major events? The art community on YouTube is, I think, more spiteful than most people let out to be. what is it? The wagon circling thing is true. That's just how it is. What else was the conclusion that we arrived at today? There was so many, guys. We concluded so many things. We probably solved a lot of issues, and I think at least for that we deserve some credit. Make sure to hit the follow button. Make sure to share with your friends. And you know what? We're gonna be doing our first. Don't make a joke about doing giveaways, because then people are gonna actually expect it, and you're not gonna have anything to give away except your pride. Yeah, I don't think I'm being silly with any of that. Money giveaway? You're out of your mind. You're crazy if you think I'm doing a money giveaway. In fact, I want to make money off of this. There we go. Look at that. Look at that gauntlet. Look at that gauntlet. It's coming together. Now that thumb is going to be a whole different issue. We concluded. We actually concluded really fucking well. God damn. You know what I want to do? I want to have an award show. I don't know why there aren't more community events. I want to have not like a seasonal anime thing, but like a media that we analyze this year and a winner for that. There should be so many more community events. I don't know why there aren't that many community events. You know what we should do? We should have a lot of Gartic phones. We should have a lot of Gartic phones. But how do you moderate Gartic phone on stream? You probably just trust the people who you get to participate. I'll watch Frieren and tell you why it's you're fucking wrong, bucko. I just want to let you know. I'm very passionate about Frieren, so nah, fuck it. You're an adult. You'll probably be able to know that I am going to come out swinging at that one. But that's the point of Hardy Debate. I'm down for Gartic phones. Gartic phones is fucking awesome. I just need to know that people aren't gonna troll it up to make my ass eat grass. Although I don't know how to moderate Gartic phone. Garlic phone? I thought it was Garlic phone for the longest time. I still don't know why they would call it Gartic phone. But yes. Oh, any more stream goal? Any more viewer goals, by the way? We should have more goals. It might be good. I don't know. I take notes when I watch stuff, so prepare yourself. Mind you, I am not analyzing Frieren from like a literary angle. Whenever I talk about anime, my friends are a bunch of like book nerds, so they'll always be like, "Oh, you think that's like innovative storytelling? This has been done in fucking Gagard's Metamorphosis," and I'm like, fuck my ass. I'm clearly talking like about like how it's hard to see a narrative like that play. So I'm probably the metric that we're going for is anime, which I understand is a low bar, but I feel like even as general storytelling, this is still like a beautiful story and told very well. And that if it's storytelling sounds like a meme, yeah, but I can understand how somebody who's a layman to stuff will think that. I can watch tons of anime and think that it has a very innovative storytelling because I don't consume a whole lot of media. And for the metrics of anime, there's a lot of room for innovation, which is just adapting stories and themes that haven't been done before for many different reasons. Hero's Journey has been around since like the 600. I don't think Frieren's fault. Well, yeah, Frieren does. I don't think it follows the hero's journey. Although you can it doesn't follow the hero's journey in a conventional way. There isn't like a call to action in the sense that like Frieren discovers and comes back. No, there totally is. This could be interesting. You should watch it and you should give me your opinions. We should do a book club and talk about it. I'm just saying something being innovative or not is the mark of being good. Yeah, true. Not just that too. Oh god. Why don't you guys like video essayists? Why can't I talk to you people? You guys are like my mother. I'll sit down with my mother. Well, I used to. I don't play that many video games like in the living room anymore. But before I went to college, I used to play video games in the living room. And my mom would be like, "Oh, are you playing that one where they just run and talk to each other and you swing a sword?" And obviously she's making fun of the fact that these are all the video games that I fucking play. But she was right. Because you're like my mother, though. Mom, this guy made 400-hour video essay on Cyberpunk. Dude, I wish my mom My mom's a nice lady. My mom's a wonderful lady. And if you say that you know, then fuck you. I have too many people around me that makes your mom jokes too. They're pretty good most of the time, but still unappreciated. You absolute animals. Dude, ever heard of rendering hands? Because I sure haven't. Oh, well, how is all of y'all's day? There was more stuff to react to. There was more, and I sit here and I have fun with all of you guys, and I forget all about it, even though there's a channel to remember these things. How could this happen? There was a new Paramore song that I heard today on Rin Lux's stream that I never heard of before, and it was a fantastic Paramore song, and that was lovely. I didn't burp. Excuse me. Yeah. It's a wonderful Paramore song. Paramount song. There's just so much going on, guys. All the time. There you go. Do that. Look at that. How beautiful is that looking? The only problem is that I'm having a difficulty rendering like teeth. You know what I mean? Teeth are hard to render because they kind of look a little bit silly. They have like this yellow tint to them, right? Even their shadows are a little bit warm. Because mind you, I can't tell. I don't think there's like blood in the teeth. So they have like this yellow tint that glows. So you probably want to go with like some like green shadows and stuff like that. But the sword also has like a purple glow. Honestly, incredible. Incredible design. You know something that I went back on? Lies of P. I watched some videos of Lies of P, and I originally, there you go, that was my layman, my tourist opinion. I thought Lies of P art design was so very identical to the Souls games that I was befuddled. And most of that was in the UI. But I watched the game a little bit more, and boy, couldn't I couldn't have been more wrong. The art design is very unique. Both of them are going for the semi-realistic look, which I don't care. Draw tits or tier 5 sub? Draw tits or tier 5 sub? Draw a tier 5 sub? I can draw a tier 5 sub. Hold on. I can draw a tier 5 sub. Oh. 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 I can draw. This is a tier 5 sub. Oh. They look weird. What the Lies of P? I just think that I feel like what do you call them? STEM bros care so much about the semi-realistic look. It's kind of weird. I was watching. I was reading the reacts on the conversation that I had on YouTube with ABBA and Destiny, and so many people said that they liked interpolation in 2D animation because it looked smoother, and that was such a weird take to have. That was such a strange take to have. I don't know. It's very weird, and it doesn't sound like a minority either. Well, yeah, it probably is a vocal minority. But there's so many people said that, like, oh man, I enjoy interpolation. And now I think that there's probably people whose entire appeal to art is this idea of looking as close as possible to the real world, but with like a fantasy sword or like a dragon. And I feel like I don't know. I think it's this appeal to photorealism which seems so ridiculous, and I would say creatively bankrupt. Fuck, that's a harsh take to have, but I'll carry that sword. I feel like there's so many tech bros that are super interested in this photorealism everything. It's so ridiculous. I see what you mean about the UI in Lies of P. Dude, the UI is ridiculously like Dark Souls. The placement, the design of it, like the color, like Lies of P UI, dude, it looks like it didn't just borrow from Dark Souls. It just... But then again, a lot of Souls clones do the same thing. There you go. This is the average tier 5. But yeah, no, I feel like a lot of people that are into this whole thing of like, oh, artists are overrated and stuff, I think there is a sense of seeing photorealism with quality. This is not a hot take to have, by the way. This is not like a new take. I just never understood how the scale of it, you know? Give him a bulge too. I never understood the appeal with that stuff, especially because more than anything, those people should know that, and this is a point that everybody fucking makes, but when you make like semi-realistic graphics, or when you go for photorealism, it will be the first thing that gets fucking dated as technology progresses. The first fucking thing ever when you go for photorealism. But stuff that's like stylized and artistic because you make a creative choice, that will always look better and better. And sure, textures can age pretty bad too, but everybody brings this up and it's fucking true. Look at a game that has aged pretty fucking well. Unbelievable. It's the go-to. It's fucking Wind Waker. Wind Waker will never fucking look old because of the fucking art style, and it's cute. And maybe you don't like that kind of art style, cool, but there are other art styles that can like peer into like both. You want to see like a game that kind of, in my opinion, maintains that like semi-realistic textures with incredible art design? Fucking Psychonauts 2. I don't like Tim Schafer. I do not like Tim Schafer. Psychonauts. Also, the dialogue in Psychonauts. Oh, yeah, Nico. Psychonauts 2. What's the name of the girl? With, like, the swirls, and she's fucking insane, and she's weird. Like, here's a game that has, like, these textures. Like, even the eyes are, like, glossy. They have these realistic textures. Semi. I should say semi.
Don't worry, Agent Forsyth. I can fix this.
Like, look at the texture on the sweater. Nintendo does that. If you zoom into any render of Mario...
It's 16 years since Psychonauts came out and secured a spot as one of gaming's most memorable action platforms.
God, I wish... If you look at any render of, like, Mario or even Animal Crossing, the textures of clothes and items will be so finely detailed.
Psychonauts 2 picks up right where the original in its VR...
And this will always look... This will never look dated. This will never look dated. I don't give a fuck. Well, you can fight me on it if you want. In fact, I welcome the challenge. But, I felt like that for a while. I felt like being a great realism wasn't attractive, but certain tools achieve outcome for... Wait, what? But using certain tools to achieve the outcome is the creative part. IMO? That's true, but you're going for something that will be very dated, and maybe that's the part that, like, to me, I find it charming when you go for something that's, like, realistic, and it becomes, like, dated. It's fucking wild to hear reviews of graphics of people who thought Final Fantasy VII, the original, was so fucking realistic looking, right? Tim Rogers talks about this. Or, like, people who play old FIFA games, and they say, like, the objective of this game is so that when people see somebody playing the latest FIFA game for the PS2, they walk in and they can't tell whether it's a real soccer match or a video game or baseball or whatever. Wait, what kind of hairstyle does the tier 5 have? Probably have like a crew cut. By the way, if I'm gonna make ridiculing caricatures, I'm going to borrow a lot from Zach Hadel and the Smiling Friend guys, because fuck, their designs are hilarious. I understand what you're saying, that the creativity is arriving. There you go. You got your tier 5 right here. Wait, hold on. Is it that photorealism misses out on executing a vision? Or do you feel like that if your vision is as close as possible to real life, I feel like it's not... If I'm giving the impression of it being lesser, it's because it's going to get outdated the fastest. If you're aiming for what's currently... Okay, here's the deal. Wait, hold on. You know, you're talking. You're doing a good job. But, nice. Yeah, give yourself compliments for talking. This is the boost that you need. If you are taking pride on the fact that your game is like the closest thing to reality that there is, so long as you're willing to accept that your game will become dated. It's not bad, it's dated. it's going to be dated so quickly, then there's no fucking problem. But the way that people, the way that people talk about photorealism, it's like this expectation that like it is good so long as it is the closest thing at resembling real life, and the moment it becomes dated, it's like, oh, okay. Because, oh god, I'm fighting phantoms again. We're doing it, guys. We're fighting. I've encountered in my personal experience people whose appreciation of a game is photorealism, of an art style is photorealism, and they look at old stuff that doesn't hold up that photorealism anymore. They say that game is ugly. I like newer games that look good, and they don't realize that the extent of your enjoyment of an art style is the extent that the tech allows it to be the most modern, real thing, as opposed to something that has creative vision behind it in the sense of it having a unique art style. It can have some photorealism for sure, but like, again, look at how timeless the look of Psychonauts will be. Look at how timeless the look of Wind Waker is going to be. Look at how timeless the look of Jet Set Radio is going to be. And it doesn't make these games better, it just makes them more time-proof or time-resistant. If your appreciation for art is individualism, so you're saying that the limit of a viewer's enjoyment of photorealism is inherently tied to its tech limits? Absolutely. And people don't understand that. At least in my personal experience, when people enjoy photorealism, they don't understand that like what you're upholding is like incredible is so dated. It's going to stop being dated. And maybe you don't give a fuck about that, but I feel like, again, as the artist, not talking from the perspective of the viewer anymore, but as the artist, so long as you understand that what you're doing, your massive project, your studio, what your studio is working on, so long as you understand that it's going to become dated, fucking go for it. I doubt that the people at Square Enix are upset because Final Fantasy VII, the original game, doesn't... Well, maybe you could make a comment about it having like a remake, and maybe that would be the case. But I doubt... Bye. I doubt that the Death Stranding environment won't look like shit compared to... Wait, what? Death Stranding's environments? The idea of Death Stranding's environments might look good, but like, it's... I feel like it will be dated. Look at fucking Metal Gear 4. Look at Metal Gear 2. But the problem with Metal Gear is that it still has... It doesn't follow photorealism. And you can be like, oh, what the fuck do you mean? Norman Reedus looks unbelievably so much like Norman Reedus, but if you look at the environments of Death Stranding, there are things that don't follow the rules of nature, not when it comes to rules of the game itself. But if you look at the way that fog works, they make deliberate... Look at the fucking... It's what I was complaining with Destiny about when he was saying that Armored Core trailers. Yeah, cool. Nice job. I love that song, by the way, that was just playing. I stopped it just for you. Fuck, that's the story trailer. I want the gameplay trailer. But if you're playing, I want you to do something. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom is a good example. Tears of the Kingdom will never look dated. You alright? I want you to think of creative choices that are done in games like Tears of the Kingdom. Fuck. I should show this to you guys, but my internet is dog poop while I'm streaming. It's gonna come out pixelated and looking bad. Don't worry about this right now. Let me just explain and just take my word for it. And if we fight about it, then I'll pull... Then if you guys want to fight, I'll pull out receipts. But until then, I'm not going to put my computer through the struggle. If you look at most games, there's a lot of decision-making when it comes to the way that they use tech, right? Draw distances, and how draw distances get revealed, fog of war, all these things, how they look, that can be a part of artistic choice in terms of environments. Look at the copious amounts of blue that you find in Tears of the Kingdom. That's not how real light behaves. That's not how the real world behaves. And I understand that you're going to tell me like, oh no, in real life, as things are further away in the horizon line, they're going to be blue because of like the atmosphere and the way that light works. I understand, but look at the way that like Tears of the Kingdom bends that. Whenever you're like Whenever you're falling down from a high distance, look at the way that that works. That's a choice the director made, be it because of tech or be it because of like artistic choice. Maybe they couldn't have had... Maybe they didn't have to have it like that. It could be limitation. It could be something that they intended for from the very beginning. But choices like that that deviate from the real world will allow it to be timeless, because nobody's gonna look at it and say, that's not how the real world fucking behaves. That's not how it looks in the real world. Except when you look at a game like, fuck, what's a game that's just going for absolute photorealism? Heavy Rain. If you look at Heavy Rain, you can immediately tell how many things just don't look right according to the real world. But when Heavy Rain came out, I wasn't paying attention to game critics when Heavy Rain came out, but I bet you that if we look through Heavy Rain's critiques when it came out, sure as daylight is bright, nice. Sure as daylight is bright, there are probably people that were complimenting like its artistic, like the look of it, the photorealism look. Can you have a highly detailed and stylized? Yes, I can. Psychonauts. I just showed it. Now, the choice with Psychonauts, or look at, is it gonna work? God, I want a really good picture. Not these ones. Fuck, is it this? The latest Mario? Okay, there are accounts on YouTube. God, I hope it works. There are accounts on, look at this. Look at the denim. It's not following 100. Now the lighting right here probably is resembling the real world. God, the problem is that my fucking, oh god, it's gonna be dogs. The textures on like Mario's cap. I feel like there is 100 ways that you can explore highly detailed realism. Can you have highly detailed? And well, that's for the movie. Fuck. Psychonauts is a good example. Fuck. Animal Crossing. Shadow of the Colossus. Ooh, Shadow of the Colossus is a tough one. Yes, the remake. It would. The question that I want to ask you is this. Here's how we tell. And it's going to be hard because it's going to require you to see into the future. But what I'll ask is that if you're over the age of 20, you probably have some... I'm going to appeal to your personal experience. If you're over 20, you're probably going to remember this, especially if you grew up with video games. If you've seen the Shadow of the Colossus remake, I want you to think how much of it you're going to look at in 20 years and how much of it is going to get critiqued by somebody whose entire appreciation of that remake is, wow, that looks so realistic, right? Like the stone textures, like the grass. Shadow of the Colossus is going to be timeless because you're not like in a certain way, because the Colossus that you're fighting are imaginary. It's character design, but those character designs are designed in such a way where it seems like the stones that are off their bodies and stuff like realistic looks from the real world. And maybe that stone texture will be dated, but the design will never be dated. It's a creative choice. It comes from the mind. In what way will it ever be dated, right? Here's one that I have a hard time with. Cyberpunk. So much of Cyberpunk is definitely going for like this realistic look, but I feel like in a certain way, the only thing that will be dated in Cyberpunk is maybe the faces of the characters. Right? I think. I don't know. I feel like that's where atmosphere comes into play. Oh, I might not understand the definition of atmosphere, because I always thought atmosphere was mood. And I might be wrong. But like when you play Shadow of the Colossus, the very faint to no music that every once in a while, there is no music. There is no music. Breath of the Wild. The atmosphere of Breath of the Wild is the slight loneliness. Even though you are often in environments that are bright and that are colorful and that are vivid. And what you'll often find in Breath of the Wild is that the music only plays at certain times and lightly. And it gives you this sense of isolation, but still with some whimsical music in the background. I thought that was mood. I thought mood was a collection of all these elements coming together to give a feeling. You know? which may not be coherent between every single player, but I think majority of people would agree when you play it. When you play... Fuck, what's like a good game to bring up? What's like a game that gives most people an eerie feeling? For Shadow, it's not a technical term, but for me, it's the culmination of game design, audio, world building. Yeah, I got... Yeah. Look at that. What did we say at the beginning of the stream? I should give a disclaimer that I'm a tourist before having this conversation. By the way, guys, I am not in game design. I don't do game design. I never designed a game. There's my little dumbass fucking pantomime. You don't know what the word pantomime means. You shouldn't use it. Isn't pantomime like getting on top of a soapbox and delivering like a excruciating monologue? Pantomime. When I think atmosphere, I think of the wind in Ghost of Tsushima. Oh yeah, with wind whistles. Can we relax? Oh, thanks. No music at all playing. Absolutely perfect execution that places you right where the dev wants you to be mentally. I think I agree with that definition of atmosphere. I feel like when you gallop close to a guardian in Breath of the Wild and you hear the piano notes rising up until you get to like a battle. Don't fucking clip that, you filthy animals. When you get to I feel like that's atmosphere. How the music is slowly introduced. That's one element. The wind in Ghost of Tsushima and the lack of music is atmosphere. I would agree with that. I wonder if there is a definitive 100% guaranteed definition, industry definition when it comes to atmosphere. I mean, people can use... God, language is fucking annoying. Language is annoying because people use it however they want and then it fucking evolves into something else. God damn. And then you have people that study language, and I bet those people are so much fun to hang out with. They're like, well, you know, actually, meme used to be, you know, the repetition of... What was meme again? I don't fucking remember. The fuck was meme? Richard Dawkins, Was it Richard Dawkins, the intelligent gene? Goddamn tourist ruin. Dude, that's never mind. You know what? Maybe I'll come around to the other side of the argument. Because it has to be so fucking annoying when you say words and a fucking linguist is like, you're ruining everything. You're like, bro, I'm just fucking talking. Because why should those people have to hear that they're fucking annoying? Why should linguists who dedicate... I don't think linguists would ever do that. Maybe. Did you think they realize how frustrating it is? Do you think linguists learn patience in school? To be patient and to not be fucking obnoxious? Part of linguistics is to understand all the baggage. Okay, yeah, okay, so that's exactly what they do. They do learn context of like, hey, maybe things take a life of its own. And maybe they find beauty in that. You know what? Linguists are cool. If there's a linguist in the chat, hats out to you. If you're in chat, make sure to write something, and everyone in my chat will be told to hit you with a clappa, and if they don't, shame on them. What do you call somebody who doesn't have any interest in real-world subjects until a soy thing comes out talking about it? My interests in linguistics are all developed from Metal Gear. What do you call somebody whose entire interest in learning more is I watched this soy thing and now I'm really into it? What do you call that? A fucking loser? Because in that case, I adore being a loser. I adore caring about things because something got me interested in them, which isn't like when you word it that way. My man loves the vocal parasites. I think the idea of vocal parasites are so fucking cool. The execution is not great, but I think the idea, oh man. Well, I'll have to have a stream where I talk about Kojima because it's such a sleep-stinny topic. But when you play a Kojima game, there's like 3 narratives that are always going on. I coined this, by the way. If you see a video essay, when you see a video essay talking about this in the future, I want you to know that it was a coincidence. I came up with this. There's 3 layers to every single Kojima story. There's the events that are actually taking place. There is a meta-narrative of the player developing alongside the characters in the story, especially the main character. And then there's a 3rd layer of Kojima telling and putting into his stories personal experiences that are analogous to things that, like, it was personal. There's always these 3 layers in the Kojima game. Does not matter what game it is. There is him injecting himself, which is doesn't in no particular order, like the 3rd layer. The middle layer, which is this meta narrative of you, the player, when like Liquid is yelling at you, like you enjoy the killing, like he's talking to the player. When in Metal Gear, fuck, Jesus, fuck, in Phantom Pain, this idea of, okay, in Phantom Pain, and this idea of the boss acknowledging Venom Snake as the real reason, as because he is where he is. This commemorative celebration of the players who made Big Boss a legend by playing the games and by loving Metal Gear. There's a narrative right there of like meta, the player is kind of involved and being acknowledged in a certain way, right? There's almost like a celebration. That also happens in Metal Gear 3. I wish I could remember. And then there's just the story that's actually unfolding in front of you with all the, like, the characters too. Raiden! Oh my god, Metal Gear 2! Metal Gear 2 is exactly that. Raiden is being controlled by the player, and he's a character with agency that's like slowly going crazy because part of what the player's doing is controlling a character that by the end of the day realizes that in a literal sense, in the 1st layer of the game, which is he's being controlled by so many people. The fucking oh god, the GW, all the, what the fuck are the United States presidents? The AIs are named after presidents. This AI plan was to literally control him, to mold him into Snake, and you are, as the player, you're controlling him. And at the time, people hated Raiden, so they wanted him to play like Snake, so they're controlling him to be like Snake. There's a meta narrative right there. Listen, Kojima is just really good. Okay, Kojima is really good. There's always 3 layers: story, meta narrative of the player and the character, and then there's his personal shit. Like, allegedly in Death Stranding, when you go to take Norman's mom, the president, to the crematorium, that was technically a goodbye to his mother. It was an experience that he had. During the time of him producing a lot of the Metal Gear games, his mother was alive. So much so that she would play the fucking games. Weird ass story that I don't know how much truth there is to it. I heard it from DigiKnow Gaming and a couple other sources too, genuinely, YouTube essayists and whatnot. Supposedly, when Kojima's mom finished Metal Gear 3, where you fight the boss, who's Snake's mother figure, and Snake has to fucking kill her, apparently she calls him, and all she says, mind you, I don't know how much of the story is fake, all she says to him, she calls him, she's like, "It is finished," and she hangs up. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? But yeah, apparently, supposedly, allegedly, that quest of you taking up the, fuck, I forgot her name, Bridget. I think it is Bridget. You taking up Bridget to the crematorium, is Kojima's good farewell to his mom, supposedly. Yeah. Well, taken literally, it's kind of retarded, but the idea that the type of cultural genocide caused by destroying language is so... Yes, it is! Oh. Oh, God, man. I think that's a game that I will never be able to judge fairly. Because if the rumors are true, and I trust Super Bunny Hop, that motherfucker broke the story. I trusted Super Bunny Hop before that happened. I'll trust him after that. Supposedly, the development conditions of Metal Gear 5 were so awful. Mind you, it could be a Zack Snyder thing, where it could be a Zack Snyder thing where Kojima's like, "Oh, they fucked me. The producers, they made me do this, and Konami had me tied up in the room by myself, and I could barely communicate with my studio, and we couldn't finish the last act." And then if you give him the ropes, you'll see a product that's no better than what initially came out. That could be the story. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I think the game could have been a stroke of genius. The gameplay is fantastic. You cannot argue with the fact that that game plays incredible. Mind you, I did not play it on the harder difficulties, and supposedly people that did play mentioned how many issues there are, design-wise, with the harder difficulties of Peace Walker. No, Jesus. Phantom Pain. but I did not play it on a harder difficulties because I'm not that good at the game. So there might be some more gameplay issues, but as far as I can tell, in normal difficulties, that game is a masterpiece. Do you guys ever get sick of me talking? I still remember finishing Acting 1, destroying Sahelanthropus and thinking the game is over 100%. Dude. But it's the same thing with Peace Walker, no? Because you finish the story, but you don't get to find out about Paz until you do all those fucking grindy-ass missions. But, unfair critique, people that kind of shit on Peace Walker for being a grindy game forget that it was released on the PSP with the expectation that you would be grinding that fucking thing out, because guess what? Games like Monster Hunter, which I know, I never heard this anywhere, but I know it for a fact that it was inspired by Monster Hunter. I know it. Not only because there's Monster Hunter DLC in Peace Walker, but the format is just way too close. I cannot look at Monster Hunter, yeah, I can actually. I was gonna say objectively, because I adore it. It's my fucking favorite franchise. But, yeah, people who shit on Peace Walker for being grindy forget when it came out, and what platform it came out, and the conventions of said platform at the time. Somebody sneeze? Oh, he's trying to tear down his mirror. Not gonna work today, bud. If you guys hear a loud bang and like some rattling and clackling, it's probably because Ollie knocked down his mirror with his little beak. He's just playing with it. It won't break. It's made out of aluminum. It's not even a mirror. It's a platter, but it's got a reflection on it, so he talks to it. He beeps at it. He's a cute little boy. The sword. That's what we're missing. God, remember that? Remember when Red Dead... Oh, there are people that did not play Red Dead in here. I have to be careful. Red Dead is another excellent game, but to me, it suffers in a certain way for being in the medium where it is. I'm half convinced that Red Dead would have been better as a fucking movie or a show than a video game. They don't take advantage of their fucking medium. And that's not to say if something doesn't take advantage of their medium entirely, it shouldn't exist. But what the fuck, Rockstar? Seriously. What the fuck? I understand that people are going to say, like, well, you can make decisions just like Arthur. Is the fucking honor system really that fucking important? No, I don't think it is. Like, it has consequences in cutscene and stuff. But like, really, is that like the most that they could make? And I'm, mind you, I'm coming at it as a tourist again, but I know that Rockstar has the means to do better stuff. I just know it. I believe it. And maybe I'm being I believe Rockstar can do better. Here's a game that by the same metric, I could say it should have been a show, and I guess it was. But I feel like it makes more sense. Last of Us. I feel like coming out of Last of Us, I thought to myself, that's really cool, but that could have been like a movie or a show. Except, The Last of Us makes sense because it asks you to make certain decisions that are very crucial to you making a decision. And you can say the same thing about Red Dead, but I don't know 100%. I don't know 100%. I feel like The Last of Us asks you to step into the role of Joel way more than Red Dead would. To me, Red Dead is way more about telling a story of a character that has way more autonomy and who is way less of a self-insert, right? Because everybody can relate to Joel. In the same way, you can say that everybody can relate to Arthur. Except, I feel like Arthur's characterization and situation is much more unique in a way where you can't step into the shoes as much. And you can say, like, you never had a daughter that got killed, so how the fuck would you know that? But Arthur's story is so much more tailor-made for a very specific thing. Like, look at what you're working here with Arthur to relate to him, right? And I know that you can. I'm just asking, look at what you're asking here to fully comprehend the character of Arthur. Arthur is a character who had parents whose dad he hated and wanted to be nothing like, whose mom, I think, died young. A character who fell into bad company with Dutch, whose entire life was growing up with this family, who is now fighting the times. They don't belong. Their way of life doesn't exist anymore because times are just changing. It's not even a matter of necessarily, like, the people who he loves are living in an age where they don't belong anymore. They just don't. Slinger, the cowboy, the fucking, the Wild West being an untamed frontier. And this is all these people ever known. They can't change. They can't change who they are. They can't change their ways. And that's the whole thing with Arthur. He can't change. Joel has what he thinks is a change. Joel's character is much more relatable, even if he is doing terrible stuff. And even if you make Joel do cruel things, that is more relatable than Arthur, who's living at the end of an age where everyone around him will be swept by it. I'm sorry, spoilers if you never played Red Dead 1. Well, actually a couple of them do, but almost none of them are going to survive. You're going to watch this man fall, not from grace, live by the gun and die by the gun. I feel like Red Dead is a wonderful game to play, but it could have served its purpose much better as like a show. The Last of Us 1's only meaningful gameplay segment was at the very end. Yes, but I feel like it. And hear me out. I might be doing a lot of legwork for The Last of Us here, but I feel like that's the fucking point of the whole game, is building you up to that moment. And you may say, well, not just that too, but like, what does Joel do? I feel like there's certain parts of the game where they want you to have like a connection, unlike like when you don't expect Joel to get the thing, right, impaled, right? Near the end, and Ellie has to take care of him. I feel like there is some gameplay level there that is expected, or the stuff that they did with story. That famous thing that was done, and I think it was done before The Last of Us, but Last of Us made everybody freak out about it, where throughout the whole game, you're building this relationship with Ellie where she helps you grab ladders or go up, or you boost her up to grab ladders and bring them down. The whole game you're doing this, except when Ellie goes through an emotional moment where you ask upon her, she doesn't show up. And that kind of has that, meta? I don't know what the word is. Ludo, narrative, eat my ass, fucking everyone says that shit. I don't know what the name of the term is. But the fact that she fails to follow that mechanic in game is representative of her narrative. Emotional, her spot in the narrative at the moment, emotionally. I feel like Red Dead has way less of those moments. So, and those are small, but Ultimate, don't what? Do not what? Spoil it? I'm sorry, it's an old-ass game. At this point, it's kind of your fault. Not yours specifically, but if there's anybody. Oh, don't say like Ludo narrative poop my butt. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid it, because I don't even know if I understand. So many people have yelled at me about using that term. At this point, I don't even know, bro. But God of War did everything Last of Us did, but better. No tears. I kind of have that sentiment too. Except for, don't say the L word. Gotcha. I kind of have that sense too, except man, that's tough. I feel like while you are correct, no, but I guess that speaks to, okay, so follow me through this. And mind you, this is not a conclusive thought. We're developing this. God of War suffers from the fact that you can only feel emotionally the full weight of Kratos and his decisions if you played, I was lucky enough that I did, a series of games that released a long fucking time ago. Mind you, the game is good enough that somebody who didn't play can probably get a good hint at what emotionally it means for Kratos to put back the Blades of Chaos on his fucking wrists, right? Like, the game does a good job conveying a sense of like, holy shit, there is some fucking crazy baggage here. But for you to understand the full context of certain things, I feel like you need to familiarize yourself with a lot of baggage. And the game does a good job not needing that, but I don't know. The Last of Us doesn't have that. So I feel like at the end, on that final point where it all culminates to, it feels like the game is building up this thesis, and at the end, that's what matters to me. To understand God of War 2018, you must first understand feudalism. I understand if the argument is kind of cringe. The Last of Us 1 and 2 is really good. The Last of Us 2, I didn't play it. But from what people told me, it was really good, and it gets unfairly shit on by people that have this sense that they want men to be emasculated. I don't know. Even the Last of Us TV show was good. I never finished it, but I will surely have to. But yeah, The Last of Us 2 sounds like a really strong thesis. I like the idea of it, which is violence begets violence, the cycle of violence. It sounds really good. It sounds really powerful when you take a character that people loved as much as Joel and you fucking kill him. And the people that think that he should have died a glorious death are missing the whole point of the God, you're... Okay, let me fucking get... The people that not until you finish Nocturne. True. The people that come... And I did not play the game. I watched it, some of it. But the people that... If the thesis of The Last of Us 2 is the cycle of violence, this brutal cycle of violence, if you think Joel should have died like a honorable death, no, you're missing the whole fucking point. You're missing the whole fucking point. You're stupid. You don't need to play the game. I'm saying that as a tourist, and I'll fucking fight somebody on it. You're so fucking stupid. If you play that game, you're like, wow, he couldn't have gone out in a blaze of glory. That's what I'm thinking, blaze of glory. You're fucking dumb as fuck, bro. I don't care how much you love a character. That's the whole fucking point. Joel was an actual evil character. I agree with you, but not even if you don't go in that area. Let's say that Joel was a good character, right? Let's say that we can decide definitively Joel was a good character. God came down, he's real, and he said, hey, in Last of Us 2, Joel is a good character. That doesn't take away from the point of the game, which is violence begets violence. And the people that Joel killed, I can bet you they didn't die in the blaze of glory, and that's the whole point of the fucking game, is for you to look at the other fucking side. Why would Joel die a glorious death? And even if you say, like, it's contrived, he's not smart, it doesn't fucking matter, because the point of the game is that he dies a death that is not... It's not fucking glorious. It's not... It's like saying Sleepy Joe should not be our president. Buttercup, where the fuck did you come from? I just don't believe you that you just stumbled on me. What is with you? But what was I saying? Fuck. Yeah, it's the cycle of violence begets violence, and it makes sense for Joel to die a terrible death, and the people that get hung up on that are dumb as fuck. Mind you, if there are other complaints about the game, I probably wouldn't be able to judge whether they're dumb as fuck or not, but I like violence. I think everybody likes violence to a certain degree, which is kind of fucked. Wink to Metal Gear. I wish I could ethically tell you what is, like, probably a good level of consumption of fictional violence. I wish I could tell you, because I do think there is such a thing as, like, normalizing people to violence that in the human psyche should be abhorrent. Who am I to say should, but I'll say it anyways. I think people that watch gore videos and get desensitized to extreme violence, I'm not going to say there's something wrong with you, because that would be hypocritical. Because who am I to say what level of violence is too much? But it just doesn't feel right to me. And it is an argument that's coming from feelings. I don't care if it's not logic, it's feelings. There's something that just feels wrong about not having any sort of reaction and just being... And I know that's a lot of people. I know that is a lot of people on the internet. There's definitely something lost in desensitizing yourself to violence. And you can make the argument that it starts with video games. It makes the... I don't want to be a fucking conservative talking point, but there has to be some truth to that. Not that you are going to turn into a violent murderer if you play violent video games. I don't believe that's true. But there's something... GTA, you mean? Sure, even in GTA, there is something about having a fantasy, right? People can engage with fantasies that will never come true in healthy ways. But there's something that worries me. GTA turned me into a thug? It did? I don't know what to tell you then. You probably should pick yourself up by your bootstraps and not be a thug anymore. Also, at the same time, how weird is it that conservatives... How weird is it that the people that are like, make your own choices, pick yourself by your bootstraps, are saying that the video game make people do bad things? It's kind of... Well, to be fair, they probably say young kids, right? Yeah, I think that would be the argument, that young kids are easily impressionable in video games turns them into psycho killers, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa, right? But if you're all about like autonomy and you make your own choices and ultimately it comes down to you, it's kind of a little bit weird for you to be like, video games are ruining everything and they're turning, this is a good laugh? What do you mean this is a good laugh? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, look at that. That's nice. But yeah, no glorious deaths. I like the thesis of Western movies. I think it's a good lesson for people to learn. Although I don't know if people learn it. Isn't a lot of Western movies comes down to you live by the gun, you die by the gun? At least I thought so. At least, I mind you, I have not watched a lot of Westerns. Which I don't know. Are they... fuck. I wish I had somebody who could talk about this with me. Because I don't know. Because I hear that Westerns are a lot of copy pastas of samurai movies. And samurai movies have a lot of the same messages of people who, whether good intentions or bad intentions, people that spill blood will have their blood spilled. Violence begets violence. It's the cycle that happens. But I thought with Westerns, just something that a lot of young kids like, cowboys, right? Thought it was a good message to know, like, hey, if you do violence, violence will befall you one way or another. It will follow you emotionally, physically. Maybe you'll literally die. But I thought that was a thesis in Western movies of a current, like a regular theme in Western movies. And I think that's a really cool message to show kids. It's a way to engage in the violence, in my opinion, while not glorifying it. Unless kids are dumb enough to... Well, actually, a lot of them are, actually, so... Look at that. That's how you want to do metal, brother. There's a new GTA coming out soon. I don't... Is there? Probably. Was there like a rumor? I don't know. I just care about Dragon's Dogma. I think desensitizing yourself to violence diminishes your ability to experience the point deft in violence media. The closest example I can think of is homosexuality used as shorthand for a character being an outsider. If homosexuality is truly normalized, then that literally... Oh, that's a good point. God damn, that's true. Hit him with the train wrecks. True, true. When I was a kid, I really wanted to play GTA. You keep bringing up GTA, Buttercup. You have some hang-ups about GTA. The news was telling my parents... Wait. Not to buy? Oh. That might be the hang-up. I'm sorry. I don't want to feel like I'm picking... Buttercup, if it feels like I'm picking on you too much, I'm sorry, okay? Just sometimes you say things that I find strange. But you're not a strange person for it, okay? I just... don't see eye to eye with you. I don't even know if that's true. I don't even disagree with you. You just say some things I'm like, what the hell? Crazy how the news targeted GTA. Not just GTA, but like Mass Effect for the sex. If we're immersed in violence our whole lives, tasteful and meaningful uses of violence will be about as striking as watching paint dry. Yes! Yes! But can you... But how do you account for that? Ah, oh, dude. You guys are making me think about ethics, and I'm kind of getting... Is it really ethics? Hold on. I don't think it's ethics. Is it ethics? No, it's not. Is it? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Plus, there's morality and ethics. I think morality is your personal, and ethics is what we as a society determine. I think that's the difference. But, Ethan cried and begged my mom. I'm so sorry. I'm making fun of you, but you genuinely did have a hang-up for this game, huh, Buttercup? I'm so sorry. Sorry you had to go through that. But, yeah, you were right. If that is the whole point... Ah, fuck, but I don't want to take away from artists. I don't want to take away from artists the freedom. The use of violence on Joel is really meaningful, IMO. But what most people took from it is the anger of their favorite character getting shot. Yes! It contributes to the idea of the escalation. Yes, yes, yes. And at the end, Ellie breaks it. That's pretty fucking cool. Except she's permanently altered by it because it's stuck with her. She broke the cycle, but all the violence that she committed along the way will stick with her. The trauma of not just like losing Joel, but like she can't... What the fuck is a mechanic that I feel like so small but meaningful? The guitar thing. She can't play it at the end, right? Because she fucking lost her fingers being bitten the fuck out, right? Yes. Yes. There's always going to be violence. True. There's always going to be violence, but it's probably a good idea for so long as there to be violence, for people to remind themselves of what being violent leads to and what it causes, and to have opinions on said violence. Even though violence will always be there, it's probably, unfortunately, I think a lot of that meaning is lost on people that see violence as a wallpaper. Yeah, true. I don't want to blame games like Resident Evil, because I like Resident Evil. But I'm not going to lie, I feel like I am becoming more and more sensitive to violence. Hot take, but I don't think that being overexposed to violence must degrade your... No, I don't think it degrades your morality or ethics. I mean, everyone's got a different threshold, so the responsibility should lie on the viewer, not the creator. That is true, but what we're saying is that if most media desensitizes you to violence, when art makes a point with heavy violence, it's going to not matter that much, right? Like, the absolute cruelty of what happens to Joel is probably kind of missed on people who see, like, a lot of fucked up shit all the time. Which I don't know who's to blame for that. Maybe the viewer as well. Although I notice artists don't draw blood or gore. What artist? Wait. What, Buttercup, you say things like this, and then I think you're fucking... You don't know anybody named George by chance, do you? In general? What do you mean in general? There's plenty of artists that draw blood and gore. Like a good amount. Like in society? Yeah, probably not. Joel got absolutely fucking brutalized. But no, this is how I think. Oh, sorry. I might be confused with what you're saying. Buttercup. I feel like I pick on you so much. You're great. But what people talk about is the simple fact that he died. He might as well just have gotten shot for most people to care. Yeah, that's what I feel like. Stop! You're stealing someone's take. I agree with what Chinese Agent is saying for the most part. My concern came from a different place, but I agree with what Chinese Agent is saying. Because I'm thinking about, personally, I'm going to tell you, because this is coming from my fifis. I watched people play Resident Evil 4 Remake, and I kind of couldn't stomach that game. And you might think of the worst possible spots in that game, and you think like, oh, that did it. It wasn't. It was like the earliest things. The way Leon dies sometimes is so brutal, I don't know, man. That kind of fucked me up. Like the sounds and stuff, I don't know. And when I was young, I feel like I wouldn't give two fucks about this. Like I truly wouldn't. But as I'm getting older, I feel like I'm kind of getting more and more sensitive to violence. Which I never thought would happen. To me, I thought if you've seen enough violence, that's just it. Like, it doesn't come back. I played Resident Evil in the Chuck E. Cheese last time I played. Okay. Yeah, did you? Did you like it? I've never been to a Chuck E. Cheese. I hear is responsible for a lot of really good memories. With toy guns? Oh, like an arcade version. Gotcha. That's pretty fucking cool. Why do I sound so condescending? Good job, Buttercup. Why do I sound so condescending? But maybe that's just me, you know? Don't be afraid to fight, guys. Don't be afraid to duke it out in the chat. Don't let me stop you from engaging and making it so the algo will recommend me to more people by being interactive in chat. Don't be scared of doing my work for me. Fucking Steven. You should play VR. I don't have VR. And I would probably not get VR. The money that I would require to get into VR is money that I would do other stuff with. I would sooner go to the US, travel to California, and get to know and meet people who work at animation studios, and get to hang out with my producer, who I love very much, and I want to go there to see her. Yeah, I agree too. Though I think there's also probably people where the meaning flies over their heads, not just because of desensitized, but because they just don't care or read any deeper. Probably, yeah. Something makes you feel like... Wait, what? thing makes you feel like you're in the game. Like VR games? I feel like I am too caught up on the... What did you say, Chinese agent? God damn, I'm turning to you so much, but you're a bright mind. I like you. I'm too caught up in like meta stuff to let myself be immersed in a game. And when a game manages to break that for me, god damn, it's a good ass game. But I don't get immersed in video games anymore, unfortunately, because I'm always thinking about the game and like the mechanics of it and how they could have coded something, if it would be balanced for them to do an encounter. So often do I encounter like a boss in the game and I don't get like scared anymore because I think this encounter is too difficult for an early boss. This is probably scripted. And then it turns out to be scripted and I'm like, god damn, dude, I fucking knew it. What else? But God of War did something. Dude, that God of War fake out with Thor, that was really good. That got me and that made me happy. That was really fucking good. You could probably get it so there is no fake out, right? Because if you're good enough at the game, I doubt you can get splashed. Or was that... It would be pretty hard, because I'm pretty sure there's a couple of moments where he grabs you, and he's just, like, life-draining you. I don't know why my feed on YouTube keeps showing up robots. I see robot playing 1v1 basketball. The other day I saw robot walking dog. I'm being serious. Are robots already here to take? I don't think so. Sure, there are. Thor is a big guy. You're a big guy. You're a big guy. For you. There are people that are just grugs, but it doesn't help to be desensitized. I like grugs. God damn it, guys. We're over 3 hours. We're over 3 hours, but we make hella progress on the commission. And I think if I keep working on it, it will be done today. And then I can focus on animation. But goddamn, guys, we're over the 3 hours. I want to keep... Damn it. I don't know if the robot... I don't know if the robots are here. I don't think so. Okay, I'll talk about DC. What is, like, DC Comics? I don't know. I don't think the robots are here. I don't think they are. I think you... Dude, I actually nyacked right now. God damn it, dude. Chinese agent, 100%. It'd be interesting if there was a way to gauge the difference, the overlap. Dude, I want so many studies done on gamers. I want to pick the gamer brain apart. Yes, DC Comics. Excited to see your philosophical treatise on cultural tourism. Have you decided on a list of journals to submit to? Keep using big words. I'm gonna have to fucking pull out my $5 words. You guys, I have something to confess to you guys. There's a couple people that are probably watching me that know me, and they heard me shit on certain things that I'm enjoying very much right now. I was not expecting to. Goddamn, guys, I'm having a lot of fun watching Big Mouth. I was not expecting it. Mind you, I'm not going to recommend it on the same breath as Freren, okay? And there's at least one person here that knows how much I've shit on Big Mouth and used Big Mouth as an example of derivative, uninspired, cash-grabbing animation. I will say, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. If it sounds like I'm not being honest by my tone of voice, it's probably not because I'm pressured to make these statements, and more so that I do feel ashamed of being the judgmental person that I keep shitting on all the time and then being proven wrong. It is embarrassed to be wrong, but I'll say it. Big Mouth is big funny. Okay, some episodes are a miss, some episodes are a hit, but the hits are pretty good. There's my disclaimer. I've been sitting on this for a while. I didn't want to tell anybody. I'm also starting to enjoy John Mulaney a lot more than I thought. If you lived with me, you've known that I. Hi, I'm back. What's happening? I'm talking about. I'm coming clean about some things. That, yeah. If you've known me, then you know that without watching Big Mouth, I've often pointed to it as an example of what is likely to be uninspired, derivative, creatively bankrupt cash grab of a moment in animation. Jesus Christ, he's become... Wait, hold on. Are we living in a simulation? No, I'm not ignoring you, Buttercup. I'm just talking about Big Mouth, okay? We're not living in a simulation. That's my actual unironically take about that. Although there are some weird things that happen sometimes that makes me think. But they're completely subjective experiences, like anecdotes that I don't know, sometimes shit just happens and I'm like, what the fuck? Did that really just happen? But that's me being an idiot and not representative of us actually. We're not living in a simulation. We're not. I think. Stop asking me. We're not. Jesus Christ, he's becoming a Mulaney cell. Yeah. And who put you? Yes, you put me on it. You did. This is an opportunity to talk about how wonderful you are. But this is also an opportunity for me to come forward about being an example and some self-actualization and some whipping myself, not in the fun way that I enjoy, but in the way that I feel like is deserved. Because somebody who is critical of media and who enjoys certain things that are claimed not to be good, like RWBY, I shit on this show simply because there is the current trend that's happening which shows that maybe I'll say that they could be good, like F is for Family and fucking the Netflix Police Department animated show that feel like are riding the coattails of Rick and Morty but making substantially less entertaining shows. Why don't you be a journalist? I don't have the want to break news. I have the want to draw. You like RWBY and Big Mouth. Stop! But the point is, it feels like there is this age with streaming where people are like, let's make our show direct to... That's also true, I cannot write, but I could be a video essayist. And I don't want to break stories. Because I don't think, like, I have a lot of respect for journalists. I could never do what they do. But, what was I saying? Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. There's this... am I going to shit on Star Trek Lower Decks? I don't even know if it's good. And then there's that one with, like, the blonde guy and the cat person, and it's, like, a fake-out show. Fuck, what the fuck's it called? It's one that my brother loves, and I think it's so bad, and I haven't given it a chance. Every time I see it, I want to just fucking shoot something onto my fucking neck. God, what's it called? It's a Netflix animation. And it's like a fake out show where it pretends like it's this like cutesy fucking thing. Animated shows. Blood of Zeus. I didn't like Disenchantment so much. But it's not that. It's that fucking... Final Space. There it is. I fucking knew it. So Final Space. There's a police department one. What the fuck is it called? Police. Paradise PD. There's a bunch of animated shows that are coming out direct to streaming recently, and I feel like a lot of people are thinking that they can capitalize on very mid to low quality written animation that's really bad. And Neo Yokio, that's not riding on the coattails of Rick and Morty, obviously, but I didn't think it was good at all. The cringy shows, well, here's the deal. I thought Big Mouth was in that. And have you seen Final Space? No, I have not. Listen, I'm just saying that I thought Big Mouth was in that, and I watched it and I had fun. So maybe we're coming full circle in this idea of maybe being a more patient and thoughtful person before just shitting on things like I complain about all the time. Now, mind you, I kept those opinions to myself for the most part, except for the people who I lived around, which I feel like is minimizing harm. If you're only going to give your very unnuanced, both are pretty good. I'm going to, no. Oh, God. Paradise PD, I have a contempt for, but I have not watched it. Think about it. Just think about what you're saying. Okay. Now, mind you, we're half an hour over time. And I'm fucking hungry and I'm thirsty as fuck. I love you guys, and I'm probably gonna go. I'm probably gonna keep working on this because I want to finish this fucking commission. I want to finish it. I want it to look really good. It's already looking pretty poggers, but I want it to look really nice because it's really coming together. I love you guys. I'm gonna go eat food because my head is fucking foggy as hell. Tune into the next stream. It's gonna happen tomorrow or after tomorrow. I understand it was supposed to happen yesterday, but you know, whatever. Oh, feel free to always tag me on DGG chat. I'm always gonna be there. Thank you for the streams. Good chat. Yeah, good chats. Get ready for a fight next stream, guys. We're gonna fight next stream. That's gonna happen. We're gonna have opinions that are gonna be hot, and we're gonna fight. Midnight Gospel is another show that I didn't give a chance to. Might be good, but I was very critical of what I saw, which was a trailer, and that's it. So you know what? Let's do that. Love you guys. Have a good one. I'm gonna go eat some food and fucking finish this. But much love. Thanks everybody for hanging out. And yeah, I can only say thank you so many times, but I'll do it again. Thank you guys all for hanging out, and thank you guys all for hanging out, and thank you guys